I think,
Nope.
Sana's done it. No, Sana's
I'm in.
No, Sana's there.
No.
Yep. Nope. It's just poison. Okay. Never mind. We're good.
Okay. I got very confused for a second there.
We're 6 people, right? So
Yep, we're 6 people.
yeah.
I'm good. I miscounted.
To be fair, when we count 6, we also add a +1 because of Pietro generally.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my brain was trying to add Pietro to my count.
That always throws me off when I'm telling the story of our adventures. Yeah, we were at the 7. I just
8. Technically, there are 8 of you.
I just lost count of words.
Yeah. But okay. So, is everything? Are you good, Soul? Are we ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Last we left off the Risen, our adventurers were resting in Baldur's Gate. They decided to take a few extra missions to line their pockets with coin in order to prepare themselves for the adventures ahead. They needed more gear, more magic items, more support, more. They needed more to prepare themselves, to give them the option of survival, especially after going through what they did in Daenerys' tomb. Needing the support, the health potions, the ability to stand tall despite dangerous foes and powerful magics. And so they did. They took odd jobs around the city to fight monsters for a bit more coin, and learned more about what it means to be a mercenary, what doing things for coin can do to a person, how sometimes you do good, and sometimes you're just there to take out a monster. And you learn that the people who hired you aren't always the best, aren't always the nicest, aren't always good. But you've learned from this. You've learned more from yourselves as you about yourselves during these 2 weeks. And during this time, Arianti learned more about the Crimson Talon, about her Crimson Talon, that had become so different from when she was here 100 years ago. It felt so much more stiff, so much more grown up. All of this paperwork and meetings, and you had to dress nicely. And dressing nice was fun. You liked whenever you got to dress up. But this doesn't feel like, it's not a game. Everybody's all serious all the time. And yeah, adventuring's supposed to be serious, but it's not. It was fun. You can remember sitting around the campfire with Kaldin and some of the other guys in the party, and you would sing songs, and you'd all get drunk, and Kai would tell you that you couldn't have alcohol, and you'd ignore him, and that was fun. It reminded you so much of what it's like to be with your current party. Like, that was what being an adventurer meant to you. That kind of interpersonal interactions and helping people and doing good was what you always thought the Crimson Talon should be. And you can tell that Kai is different. He's not the same Kai you used to know. You think if you were out in a forest, he would remind you just like the man you used to know who decided to take you in. But this Kai, in stuffy clothes, in stuffy rooms, drinking tea and being polite, he isn't the person that you remember, and it hurts to see him put on this mask, this stuffy adult grown-up mask. And it's not fair to him to have to do this, to have to pretend that he doesn't, go out and adventure, that he doesn't, live in forests and get all grubby and go jump in rivers to clean off. It doesn't feel right seeing him in these kinds of situations. But with your help, you both managed to navigate some of the more difficult aspects of trying to get you back into the Talon. You're still a child. It's hard to figure out. It was hard for Kyleton to figure out how to explain away your age, how to rationalize you being so young. And with your help, you kind of decided the best way to go about it was as though this is the beginning of a training camp for young adventurers. That you would be the sort of test run for having young adventurers learn from the Crimson Talon and learn how to be noble adventurers and how to aspire to be like the Talon. And so you were one of the first adventurers that they would include in their fold who would be on these kind of growing period. Essentially, you would be like a squire to a knight. That's the kind of aesthetic that Kyleton is aiming for in this ideal, that you are a adventurer in training. That's what this is. It's that you were the first sort of Crimson Talon member in training. With him being your mentor, you notice the way he's talking, and from how he's explaining this to people, that the implication is that he's going to travel with you. You don't know if that's true or not. You can't tell if he's lying. But the way he's describing it is like he is personally taking responsibility for you. That you are going to be his trainee. That he will be your mentor in this arena. Now, they still need to see your excellence. Not just that you did this, but the council needs proof of your character and why you should be the first of their Talon in training. What makes you important? And this is where Kyleton tells you he needs your friends' help. Your party needs to be character witnesses of a sort to your good deeds, to your ability, to your status as an adventurer. And so that's what's going to happen. That's what this meeting with the Talon will be. It's going to be you and your friends showing that you have what it takes to be part of the Crimson Talon, even if it's a member in training. And when Kyleton explains it, he actually uses air quotes. So you were essentially going to be their trial run at doing an apprenticeship through the Talon. Because that's the only way Kyleton could figure out, and Beth, it's the only way I could figure out how to justify a bunch of adults letting a 14-year-old run around with them.
Okay,
But yeah.
yes.
Do you have any other thoughts or anything else that you want to try to throw in there to help make Ariantia a better, what she might have done to sort of assist Kyleton in this kind of endeavor? I don't know how much thought you gave to Ariantia trying to plead her case here.
That's you, Katie.
No, she's asking you guys.
No. I'm asking you if you have thought about how you wanted this to go a little bit, because I know we've had a couple of weeks. I just didn't know if you had another plan or idea we can incorporate that in as well. It's just this is what I've come up with.
No, I don't have an idea.
No, that's cool. That's fine.
She's 12.
It's totally okay. But yeah, so while your friends were off adventuring, you and Kyldin were essentially crafting the beginnings of the adventurers in training apprenticeship with the Crimson Talon. None of the other guilds, of course, do apprenticeships. So like true Crimson Talon fashion, they would be leading the way. This is sort of a new endeavor to train the next generation of adventurers. Despite you being one of the very premium, one of the very first, generations of guild adventurers. But yeah, Kyldin has made it very clear you are not to tell the council, A, about your connection with Kalemvor at all. He doesn't want them to know anything to do with Kalemvor and what you guys have been doing. And B, none of you have been resurrected. He wants to make that super clear. Y'all aren't on a mission from God, and you guys are not on missions from gods, trying to save the world, and you guys are just, that stuff happens. Being on a mission from a god to save the world is like bread and butter for adventurers, right? So it isn't out of the question, it's just that all of you guys are unknowns because of what's happened. So none of you have the kind of prestige required to just say shit like that and have people believe you. If Kyldin had just said, by the way, I've been resurrected from 100 years ago and I'm on a mission from God, people would believe him and he wouldn't have to explain any further. No one knows who you So it's, yeah.
Would have been too easy, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So that's kind of the situation that you two worked together in order to craft this idea. You're fucked. Yeah, you guys are. You have to lie.
Keep this shit a secret, Pill.
Yeah. So the way the adventure in training is going to work is you will be a member of the Talon. In training. It's going to say in training after you being a member, Crimson Talon member in training. For the Crimson Talon, you're going to get missions and things like that. And Kai is going to sort of be responsible for you as a mentor-mentee relationship. So he's going to give you missions, essentially, and you're going to go carry them out. The implication is he's going with you, he is not.
I have the feeling that he's totally using her to escape his responsibilities.
Come though. He probably wants to come though.
Yes, he does. He wants to go out and do these kinds of adventuring things with you, but the paperwork is all saying that he's going to be the one taking care of it. But he knows that he still needs to work on making the Talon better from within. And since none of you guys are members of the Talon, it's hard to say, hey, and then she's off training with other guilds to be members of the Talon. So Kyle is saying that yes, he's there. He's going to be sort of responsible for you guys doing stuff. But he can't go with you. Because he needs to try to fix the guild from within.
So what you're saying is that he's our manager now.
Yes.
Anything, we must be really careful about her image. Anything we do could reflect badly on that.
There's that potential, yeah. You guys start fucking up, it's gonna come back on Kai. He's kind of taking you all in sort of his. Yes, he's essentially like your manager now. If this works out, if this all comes out in the wash, he is going to be your guys' contact in the Crimson Talon where Oriente gets all of her information from. But any of the stuff you guys do, good or bad, is going to end up on his desk. Because he's explaining that yes, he's the one responsible, he's the one that's going to be training, and then he has hired other adventurers, you guys, to do the, teach her how to be a good fighter, teach her how to use magic, teach her how to do, how to survive in a forest, stuff like that. So he's going to use your guys' fields of expertise to say he has put together a team of adventurers from the other guilds who represent the best and brightest of those guilds to help teach Arienti so that they're not taking away from the resources of the Crimson Talon. They're all off doing good and fighting and being, killing dragons and stuff. They don't have time to do this. But the other guilds, they've got time for this.
Appeal to their sense of superiority.
Yeah. Yes. So he is appealing as much as he can to try to explain how this works, but he is going to be responsible for all of Arienti's missions and all of her do-gooding and screwing up. Those are all going to come back on Kai because he needs to stay here in the Talon and try to undo what he's neglected for so long. It was easy for him to neglect this when he didn't have any expectation of some of his former, some of the original party members who were still part of the Talon. Like, there was no one left to see what the Talon had become, and then you throw Arienti back in, who had admired what the Talon had been, who had loved the aspect of being with them, and had taken it as such a big deal to when he gave her the signet ring. So it had very much been a big deal for her. And so now that not only is she back, and she really is back, he's kind of had to take an inner look at what the organization he started has become.
Wake up call.
So yeah, it's a pretty vicious wake up call for him, especially because you've been dead for 100 years. So he's had 100 years of nonsense he's been doing, namely which in the last 20 or 30. Taking missions from other guilds. I cannot. He's such a dork. But yeah, he goes off and does missions with other guilds because he thinks his guild is trash and doesn't want to fix it because that's too much work. So I'll go fight a dragon because that's easier. I'm
still doing some good shit, apparently. Oh,
yes.
God.
Yeah. So Kai tells you, Arienti, to bring your party members to the Talon before noon on the day of the hearing, and tells you that you need to make sure that your friends are aware of the circumstances that are going to happen, like that they're going to need to basically talk about how cool you are, but not lie much. They can't lie like a bunch. They can lie a little, just not a lot of lies. And that they need to be dressed in such a manner that represents that they are sort of exactly exemplify who they are as adventurers. So it doesn't necessarily have to be dressed really formally, but they need to be dressed like they are the keystone of adventurers, because that's what he's selling you guys as. Like, he's going to say Kali is the best fighter, and Pill is one of the brightest wizards of his generation, and stuff like that. So he needs you guys to dress like what he's telling the council.
So he is allowed to lie.
Do I have to wear meadow?
No, you don't need to.
I know clothes, and I've been taking notes when I've been traveling. I know what everyone wears.
Yeah,
Also,
We're going shopping.
make everyone a symbol of their guild, except Rose. Rose has to have a sign that says freelancer.
Yes, Rose not being part of the guild is actually okay. The fact that she is an outside member who is volunteering to do this is something that Kai is going to rely upon. So the fact that Rose is as a third party is fine.
Yeah, like the fact that I'm not part of any guild means that I am much more objective in theory, or at least he's banking on that probably.
Yes.
So what she's gonna do is that when she hears that, she grabs her shield and then looks at Arianti, and she thinks for a minute, looks at Arianti. Okay, I have my clothes and they're very nice, but in order to look very much more like a cleric, could you put together a tabard that has a much more prominent symbol of Avandra on it?
Yes. We are going to wear the level 20 clothes.
It's gonna take me a while to make all his clothes, though.
This is something that that Kai let you know was going to happen, so you have time to prepare all of this.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Rose also volunteers to help however she can.
When Kai came up with this plan, he came up with this plan like the first day of this week-long adventure when you guys were here. While you guys were off adventuring, Kai was figuring out how to do this. And so when you get back, he basically tells you what's going to happen and then tells you to go tell your party members to get ready for this to happen on the day of the hearing. So you've had essentially 2 weeks to prepare for this. While they've been off adventuring, you've been working with Kai to get their outfits ready. You've been working with Kai to make sure that he knows the kinds of people that he's going to be describing. So you've told them all about your guys' adventures and what you guys have done so far, and he's been essentially editing out all of the "we're also chosen by gods" parts. And so he's kind of crafted new stories for who you all are that aren't lies. They're just not the whole truth.
And to be fair, they might not investigate the different guilds because why would they?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of half-truths, he probably would have asked Callan what kind of interpretation they're going with, because there was a weird combination of Sholar and Druid. Are they gonna lean into that? Are they gonna lean into a certain part of him? Is he going to be nature Sholar? Is he going to be a typical out there Druid? That's kind of what I want to know.
You are going to be leaning more into the fact that you're a druidic scholar, if that makes sense. So it's the idea that you study nature. The way a wizard might study magic, you study nature. So you're a wildlife biologist.
Okay, cool. I can work with that.
So wildlife biology people, if you've never met them, are quirky as shit. They really embody that druid vibe of I can mimic bird calls because I was bored one weekend. So you are essentially a nature scholar. So that's kind of the vibe he's going for you, with a specialty in Arctic nature. So that's kind of your aesthetic. Yeah.
And you're in the Winter's Eye, so that helps us too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, he does not know. Now, here's the question. Arianti, what did you tell him about each of your party members so I can shape it a little bit better? Like, did you tell him that Kali is an Aasimar? Did you tell him that Pill is starting to become an artificer? Like, how much of this does he know?
Told me not to tell anyone that she's an Aasimar. Has Kali would have Kali told Arianti not to tell anyone that she's an Aasimar?
No.
Then she would have told him that she's an Aasimar.
Fantastic. This is great. Okay, good to know. What about Pill and being an artificer?
How much does Arianti know about that? If Arianti doesn't feel like these were secrets, she would just tell them everything.
Oh, rad. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Woo.
If someone has hinted to her that maybe we shouldn't tell people this, then she would be like, okay, I'll leave that part out, but I'll tell you about this other thing instead.
Okay. The fact that you guys don't actually have a rogue in your party actually really helps sell this idea, because that way, look, we're not even teaching her any of the, That's the thievery, stabby, sneaky shit.
The first mission we go on is to get thievery gloves.
Yeah, I know. It's fantastic. Oh, and the fact that how he's going to explain Pill is amazing. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I'm really excited.
Plot twist. Once she becomes a real member of the Crimson Talon, she multiclass into a rogue.
Yeah, basically immediately. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what do you guys think your dress should be to exemplify you as an individual?
Like I said, Rose, like she's dressed up. She's dressed up in like she cleans up, obviously, but like she's dressed up in the nicer clothes that she got a while ago, and she's asked our auntie to make her a tabard to make it a bit more obvious that she's a cleric. She'll put on her shield as well, and just kind of like put on the affectation of like being being this lawful good cleric, even though she is definitely not lawful good. Like,
We're gonna lean so much into nerd aesthetic, like so much into the nerd aesthetic. But his clothes will be that blue-white color, that kind of like not nerdy, but some kind of maybe nobly. How do I put it? Kind of elegant.
Okay.
He will carry many books, many utensils. He will also carry his alchemy equipment very prominently.
Okay. So
And he's gonna fuck.
So more like he's got his like journal, almost the same way way Pill would carry his spell book. Like it's very noticeable, prominent. He's got this like really detailed journal, which is your mentor's journal.
Yeah.
And then you've got like a belt that has like alchemical components on it, stuff like that. So it's less like all of the accoutrements that come with it, and more of that like vibe. That yes, I know how to do alchemy, and yes, I'm a bookish type, and all of that.
And a very elegant and neat, but that's usually how he carries himself. So it's not the big
winter nerd. I know. He's so great. He's just. I mean, it's one of my favorite things is that you're like, look, a noble. What are you? A druid? What? I've seen druids before. They don't look like that.
Yes, exactly. It kind of is, but
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been given special permission, by the way, to bring Pietro in. You have a big writ that you're allowed to bring Pietro in as the wolf. The giant wolf.
You will have raised hell if they wouldn't let bring Pietro as a wolf. Like in his full big boy size.
Yes. Kaladin actually wants him to be looking like a dire wolf. He really needs that.
Okay, just so you know, the only thing their twins are gonna change is they are gonna be wearing the damn Phoenix bandanas because they suck at lying. There's no point. Just walking like that.
Fantastic! You don't give a shit. That's amazing. Okay.
To be fair, that is the exemplary example of a ranger.
I mean,
yeah.
Looks like a ranger, very much. So.
Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Kali changing her dress in any way?
I mean,
just bring all the weapons, all of them.
She always does.
I know she always does. Like, I don't know if there's really much she can change. It doesn't involve a lot of money because she wears armor. And if you wanted to be looking more like the best fighter, she'd have to get better armor, but we ain't doing that shit. Unless
technically, Katie could or our auntie could prestidigitate it to look
for
a bit
hour.
shinier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For
It would
an
wear
hour.
off, and then that would give us away.
If the
So
talk, if the talk lasts longer than an hour,
I will add glitter.
I mean, she can polish it and shine it up and get special stuff to make it look the best it can be, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you could make the cloth part, because she has cloth on her armor, like the jacket. And then she has, like on her stomach, there's also cloth, but underneath it, there's the actual plate. She has layers right there. Maybe our auntie could make fancier or more high quality looking cloth for that.
I
If
kept
you
some of
want.
that silk robes. We can make one of those silk robes into fancy cloth stuff.
You should give her a cape too.
Yeah, we can make a cape out of it too.
Give her a cape. Yeah. But
Okay.
I mean that's really all she can do, honestly. It's
Alright.
real for stuff.
What weapon are you going to wear? Are you going to wear all of them? Like, how many of them are you wearing? Which weapon are you exemplifying?
I mean, her sword and shield are her main things. Sword and shield. So that's a given. Just so much shit.
I know. I'm making you
Just
pick.
put all of them-
Haha.
Just put all of them in the magic quiver, and then if you don't feel armed enough before entering, you just keep taking weapons out.
I mean, I guess sword and shield and her warhammer.
Okay.
And the rest she can put in Sarabi's thing, I guess. Yeah.
Are you doing anything to try to fix the scars in your armor?
I mean, yeah.
Like the
to
dents.
buff
Like are you gonna?
buff it out? You mean?
Yeah,
Buff it.
but like any of the ones that are like the deep gouges and stuff like that, are you going to try to like mend those?
I was gonna
Or-
say, Rose has mending. She could probably just like use mending a few times on it.
Do we want to mend it to where it's super like? The problem, of course, Callie's thinking, well, what if it looks like I've never used the armor ever?
Yeah,
Oh.
the gouges are fine. It proves that you've been in battle,
Yeah.
that you're experienced. And you could, and
It
just
does
because
feel-
you're a great warrior doesn't mean that you care for fancy armor.
Like the armor should be well kept, but maybe there's still a little bit of wear on it to show that she's used it. You know,
Okay.
like she's been in fights with it. So she
Yeah,
might buff it up a little bit to make, like I was saying before, to give it the shine, to make it look higher quality, but leave some of the wear.
Yeah.
Alright.
But yeah.
And so Princess is gonna look like almost like a divine raven. That's a little like the vibe I'm getting. Like it's like she's glowing from within.
Fancy.
Black and gold raven.
You're
Can
muted,
he actually
Hayes.
summon a glowing raven? Can he make Prince glow? That would be awesome.
Well, I mean, she's
Yeah,
technically
basically.
Fae. Yeah.
I want to make her look like she's like metallic and made of gold, like she's a creation of an artificer, basically.
Oh shit. Okay. That's okay. That's trickier. Oh, you could do it though. I would need an Arcana check for that one. For you in order to make her look spiffy. Because mimics can do that. Mimics can look like other creatures, so it's not impossible for magic to make organic material look inorganic. So,
Hell yeah.
what'd you get?
On a 19.
Okay, yeah, that's good enough that yes, you can make her look like living metal, if that makes sense. So she looks not necessarily mechanical, but not organic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And is Pil going all white robes on me, or what's his
Yeah,
actual?
he's gonna be like, I'm the purest man that ever lived.
Okay, so yeah, so you're gonna go white robes, white hair, hooded cape, the whole deal.
Yeah, like without the mask, obviously, because that gives
Mhm.
away the necromancer part. But
Mm-hmm.
he like the whole point is like I'm supposed to look the part of the most powerful wizard or whatever. So he's gonna be like, I want to look like something out of fucking Doctor Strange.
Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, so you're going wizard vibes. You probably can't quite end up this ostentatious. with just the couple of weeks that you guys are working with, but you can end up with something that's a little toned down, but a version of this essentially, because you are not a 20th level pill yet. But yeah, so it's a variant on that, which of course the rest of you guys is totally. Pill does never wears white, so he comes out wearing this, and you're like, what the fuck are you wearing?
You're wearing. Okay. Rose just kind of blinks a few times. It looks good on you, Pill.
How you
Yeah.
gonna take the blood stains out of that?
Although it wouldn't exactly, convince them that I'm very bright if I come in looking like an edgelord. So I
So you
figured.
admit it. Cool.
By the way, I figured the cloak is not 100%. It's not white. It's like off-white. It's like bone colored.
Eggshell. I'm kidding.
Yeah, yeah. It's not 100% white, but it's that slightly off-white color. But it still hits that same vibe that you're going for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that way it's not like bright white cloth. Because that would be such a pain.
As the same deal for Rose, she wants to have Avandra's symbol on a tabard, but like the background is like a basic color that matches what her current aesthetic is.
Yeah, so is Rose still wearing her armor and everything?
I think
Still might have
so,
been.
just to like show that she's actually like she's wearing the armor, but she's wearing the tabard over it, so that she looks a bit more cleric-y, but also like she's ready for battle.
Okay. What about Pill?
He might have. I was gonna say, yeah. He wants to look like the most powerful wizard he can as of right now.
Okay.
He wants to look like he can kick anyone's ass on the battlefield. But he also wants to hide the fact that he's a necromancer. So if they ask him what subclass are you, he could be like, I'm evocation, and get away with it.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
So we'll see how that goes. So remember, Kyle's gonna sort of give you guys your descriptions, and so you guys have to try to stick to your story.
Also, can we put the Dawn Phoenix thing on the cape for Callie? So she has the symbol somewhere on her.
Oh yeah, that can be done pretty easily.
Yeah. Just something simple. I'll just like, she probably should have the symbol on her somewhere.
Yeah.
Just an applique.
Mm-hmm. Anyhow.
You gonna put the Violet Widow symbol of fear or not? Just ask. Or are Sarabi and Kali the only ones wearing the symbol?
Yeah. So is Vera wearing anything that says Winter's Eye, and is Pill wearing anything that says Violet Widow?
I think he would.
Pill's like, hey, I can do this thing now. He snaps his finger, casts prestidigitation, and it looks like a glowing Violet Widow symbol.
Nice.
As a medal.
Okay.
Vera might have the symbol on a scarf. So I kind of want to go with humble but serious. So
All right. Sort of Hogwarts housey there.
yeah, sort of.
No, the vibe's good. It's a good vibe. Okay, so this is kind of what you guys are dressed as. You guys are preparing to head to the upper district. So you guys are heading to Upper City while you're dressed like this. So you have Pietro looking like a wolf in this case. So he is a big dire wolf. Y'all are getting stares as you walk down the street. This is some crazy shit. You guys look really badass as you guys are walking down the street with this fucking dire wolf.
And may remind you, the dire wolf has clothes.
Yeah. He's clearly he clearly belongs to you guys. The vibe is very apparent, and you guys are just walking down the street. Y'all look like hot shit. What is Arianti wearing?
So she's a bard, so she probably has made her bard outfit a little bit more fancy.
Okay.
Just fancied it up a bit.
All right.
And she's
Um,
purposely has her Fuklik and Bandor out and strapped, flute out to proof that she's a bard.
Mhm.
Yeah, pretty much that stuff.
Okay.
Phone, stop it.
So yeah, so you guys are heading towards the upper city. As you get to one of the gates to let you into the upper city, the guards stop you. You know, they make eye contact with this big ass and are like, shit ain't gonna happen. But Arianti, you just show them the letter from the Crimson Talon, you know, in that ha 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 kind of triumphant attitude. And they let you pass. Like they take a couple of minutes reading the letter and confirming all of your names like 2 or 3 times before they let you all in. But they let you all in with strict instructions not to leave any dog shit anywhere.
Funny.
Pietro's gonna shit everywhere just because of that.
He might leave a present somewhere near a guardhouse. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a very Pietro thing to do. But yeah, so they let you guys into the upper city. And again, you guys are brought to. You guys make your way towards the Crimson headquarters. And again, it's just as flashy and ostentatious as the first time you guys got there. It is all marble and you know marquetry floors and the whole deal. It's just very gaudy. And again, from where you guys left to, this looks just out of place to be a guild hall. It doesn't look anything like a proper guild hall. At least from what you guys have seen. I mean, so far, the last 2 weeks living out of your halls, this just looks utterly ridiculous. It just doesn't feel approachable at all in any way. But you guys arrive at the Crimson headquarters, and Kyleton is waiting for all of you. And again, he's dressed in that, like, I'm an adventurer, but all of his gear is clearly, you know, very, very well kept. Very, it's all clean, and you know, it's trimmed in gold and all of that. And again, he's dressed in a flashier version, essentially, of what his normal adventuring gear is. And he meets all of you guys at the guild hall and kind of looks over all of you and sort of nods. Okay. We're going to meet. You all are going to meet the Crimson Council. They are 5 individuals. This hearing, as I'm certain Arianti has told you, is the yay or nay on this. We have to convince them that this will work, or it's never going to fly. Arianti will never be in if we don't get this to work. I have done everything I can to make sure that Arianti is going to succeed here. That she will be, in a sense, a true member of the Talon once again. But I can't just say yes. I have to get the council's approval before our scheme will go through. She is going to be under your training. She is a prospect of the Talon that you 5 have volunteered, and he uses that word, you know, particularly. He's not going to be paying you guys to do this. Have volunteered to demonstrate the availability of the not availability, the
Exemplary?
yes, but the the fact that this will work, that this is a functional idea, that having apprenticeships in adventuring will work. This idea is not unheard of. Most of you probably have undergone some kind of apprenticeship. It just has not been like this. No guild has undertaken a project like this. Yes, it's never been formal. It's never been official that adventurers can apply to be apprenticed. That normally it's just they set out on their own and they meet up, and then one thing leads to another, and they join a guild, and that's that. This coming together thing that you all are so familiar with, that is so familiar with old adventurers, is not done these days. This would be a way to make adventuring real again. At least in the Talon. I know the other guilds function more in the old school, but they don't take in young adventurers. You have to have made a name for yourself before they offer you their protection. And I don't think it's good for young adventurers to just, once they gain a guild membership, to not have any oversight, to not have any training, any formal training as they adventure, to not have experienced adventurers join their parties to teach as they learn.
Yeah, we just came back from a mission that showed us what inexperienced novice can end up as without a proper guide.
Yes, that story, the one that you have of seeing what improper guidance can do, is commonplace. It's why the guilds, the Crimson Talon, has become so exclusive. They take members of other guilds who are doing the best and the brightest work and pull them into their fold, and then any of their talent and skill becomes trapped here. It's good for the adventurer, but not for the society. It doesn't allow the spread of knowledge, the spread of experience. So we need to incorporate that back into the Talon, and this is the best way I have figured out how to do it. If things were different, the Talon was different, this would be more commonplace. This would be easier to accomplish. But the Talon is what it is, and I cannot change it. Not yet. But I will introduce you all to the council and make introductions for them as well. And then I will have to keep my peace. I have said as much as I can, have done as much as I could to facilitate this, but they don't want to hear my words on the situation. They want to hear from the party, from you all, who brought back Vanram. They need to know of your deeds and know of your heroic efforts. Is there anything that you all do not want known about your adventures, besides the fact that you're all in this situation?
For me, everything.
Besides our secret plans to make business in the future, no.
Okay. What business?
Don't ask.
I can tell you because you will steal my idea.
It's nothing important.
It's a long
delicious.
story.
To do with adventuring.
It's
Don't worry
delicious.
about
Kyle's like, oh, all right. I won't mention your side business into.
It's not a business yet. It's an idea that we've been tossing around for the past 2 weeks now.
Oh, all right. Very well. I will allow you all the privacy of your own devices in your off time. Anything else?
I don't know. Do you guys have some deep, dark secrets you don't want anybody to know?
No. I don't need to know those. You don't need to know those. I mean anything of your current adventures that is publicly known that you don't want me to talk about.
Maybe not.
Sorry. How we blew up
Um,
that one town and that one person.
Well, okay, that was we did bring him back, but yeah, we don't want to mention that one.
I do believe you
It's
don't
Bill's
want
fault.
to mention maybe the flying incident.
Oh, you
I
want me
mean,
to
that was
call
pretty
the
cool.
ambulance?
It wasn't a big
Okay.
deal.
Basically, when we got off the train in whatever town it was, there was bandits that attacked us, and somebody put a fireball in the middle of town. Let's not talk about that.
Bill.
Side-eye still.
Kai,
That one.
you watch Kai slowly lift his hand like he's thinking, and you can tell he's hiding a smile. During trying not to laugh at you all.
Mhm.
Excuse you, but nobody can prove the wizard did anything. The police let him free.
It is true.
Yeah.
We've
but-
been acting
Well, I mean,
in
there is
absolute
paperwork from
self-defense.
that, I bet, but
We made some guards mad because somebody was flying about that one.
Somebody. Somebody with a
Hush.
bow on her back. And a
Hush! We are all the same
Wheelbarrow?
party. We all share the blame.
Ah,
there
yes.
was also that one time we were on a train and we kind of, didn't hide at all.
Because we didn't pay. Yes, don't mention that either.
Kyle doesn't even bother hiding the fact that he's laughing at all of you.
I was like, hey, Calvin's the one that put us on that train, so he also shares the blame on that.
Next time I would appreciate more of a warning. I am usually not the type to hide and sneak and lie.
Oh, just about that. As we've discussed, I'm not going to elaborate upon your all's previous encounters with the divine. Oh no, the law as well. I will exclude those.
Yeah, maybe we should try to not mention anything we did prior to this 100 years, just in case somebody picks up the details and say, wait, that didn't happen until like 200
yeah, we'll
years.
keep everything from leaving the Herald's tomb onwards till now.
Very well. I will do my best to keep your stories as cohesive as I can while still excluding certain factors. This is going to be a bit difficult for all of you. I will not lie. I know you all can do this. I know you were capable of doing this. Just don't let the 5 of them get under your skin. Though they might not look it now, have been where you're standing. They have been adventurers. They're not just noblemen. They're not just figureheads. These 5 have stood where you stood. They have done heroic deeds. So don't take them lightly either. And they will not take you lightly. All right. Is there any last thing any of you need from me before we head to the council chambers?
Yeah, what's the story you made for me?
We'll hear it when he tells it.
No. Surprising you with this one will be
Uh-oh.
tricky. I did not make up your story. I simply twisted the truth. You are an experienced wizard in the work of souls. And you know how to use magic to manipulate souls. You following me so far?
Mm-hmm.
And you are now studying the arcane arts of artificing. You are recently, now that you have learned all that you can learn about souls, you are now endeavoring to discover the interworkings of the arcane magics of science and technology, of artificing, of using what you know about souls and how the fabric of magic works, how that affects, and how those effects can be placed upon magic items. So you are a skilled wizard of all arcane arts, but you have learned how how a soul can contain and use magic. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I can spin a story with that.
Okay. You have been studying in a school for many years. All of you will detect notes of have been off doing something for many years and then have recently come back to the full adventuring. So that will be a note that runs along all of your stories. Except Ariantes, she will just be a new adventurer. Which means, Ariante, as far as the council is concerned, you and I do not know each other. I've never adventured with you. I don't know anything about what you know of the origin of the guild. You were born 20 years ago, not, 220 years, or like 120 years ago. So you just need to remember that you just left Waterdeep. You are a new adventurer still.
So I haven't been adventuring at all, so I don't know any spells. Do I have to pretend I don't know anything?
You have been bouncing from adventuring group to adventuring group for the last few years and have recently come under my notice. And I wanted to stop you from adventuring. Stop me if you've heard this one before. And your determination to still be an adventurer sent you and this group of individuals off to fight Verum and bring him back to prove yourself worthy to the Talon. These individuals are the individuals that you have met, and I have approved for this mission. So these are people who I have both selected and approved to be your guides. And this was your first mission. This is a test. This mission that you went to Daenerys' tomb. This was a test mission to prove that this would work. And it did. And so I'm using that concept that I, as someone who knows the other guilds rather well, have put together this team and placed you among them to prove your worth, and we have succeeded. And I didn't tell them about this because it's easier to ask for permission it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. So I set up this whole endeavor with the whole concept that I have been planning this for months, not 3 weeks ago.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Clarifying,
Go ahead.
I guess for the GM a little more. So it was he's saying that Ariante just met us for the Verum mission, and so, or we've known her for like us as the group, or she's been with us for a little bit.
She's been with you guys for a little bit. This was your first real mission.
Okay.
So the other missions you guys have been on have not included Ariante.
Okay.
Ah, okay.
So everything from when we were brought back to the Verum mission, Arianti wasn't in, so-called.
Correct.
Okay.
Those are your guys' achievements. This is the first major achievement for Arianti.
Okay. So,
Okay.
I have to make
Yeah.
sure so don't accidentally. She
Mhm.
did this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say,
Maybe-
if we allude to her compassion and trying to reconnect families or
You could
similar.
We could
You all have-
mention- Sorry, go ahead.
Been
Go ahead.
on missions together, just nothing as major or as important as this one. You all have been training with her for many months. Yes? Because you guys have all been working together.
Yes,
So you
yes.
have been training with her for many months. You all have been doing minor missions with each other to teach her the ropes, but none of the major accomplishments, like with the hags, was done with Arianti. That was done by you all when you were. That accomplishment
We left
has
her
been
somewhere
made.
else while we all did it together. We had her being babysat.
Yes and no. You all fought the hags. You all have met each other before I brought you together.
Okay.
So you guys have made accomplishments before. You had all headed to the town. It was a known problem. Around Esmelton, and you all from your own guilds headed there. Defeated the hags there, and then when you arrived here in Baldur's Gate, I heard of your accomplishments and brought you all together again. Or perhaps, it might be easier to say that you have been doing adventuring missions for me with Arianti for longer, and that I have been training her for a while longer.
As like a test period.
Yes, so the hags was maybe one of your first major accomplishments with her,
Mm-hmm.
and I sent you all out there to do such a task, and then you came back, and Arianti, still wanting to prove herself as a member of the Talon, chose to go after Vanram, and you all joined her, and so she proved herself by accomplishing this task and bringing him back, because I cannot say necessarily that I facilitated your all adventuring in that department.
Yeah.
So your first major accomplishment with Arianti was the hags. This is her first major accomplishment on her own. She chose to lead all of you off to do this mission.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
So yes, so you have known her for many months and have been training with her. The hags was your sort of first mission together. This was your second mission together. Major mission. You have done minor things before.
As a clarification, just to, keep us all in the same story, we really need to come up with the quote unquote actual story of how we met and why we're traveling together. I can just say that I didn't want to be affiliated with a guild so that I wouldn't be so that I would be able to help as many people as possible. But how did a bunch of disparate people who are in different guilds get together in the first place?
We can just tell the truth that we met on a tavern, that everybody has their own reason to be in a group, and we just became members of the guilds later.
We should keep our
We have
stories
to tell a
straight. I
different story
believe.
of how we met Arianti.
I believe we've told in the past that we are friends, and that despite our different guilds, we have been working together in the past because of our teamwork, because we knew each other already.
Okay.
So to clarify, you all knew each other before, but were part of separate guilds and did separate guild adventures, but had encountered each other through your adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And now, when I brought you together, let's say 4 months ago, I brought you all together because I knew one or two of you from your adventures in the guilds. I didn't know any of you personally, but I found a couple of you. And then you said, well, I know other people, and then brought those other individuals into the guild. So, like, the two of you, Kali and Sarabi, you both knew each other because you were members of the guild. You are longtime friends and close family. And you knew someone, you knew other people in the other guilds, and they knew other people, and it brought you 5 together. I then brought you all the idea of training a new adventure, of taking on apprentices, and I brought Arienti into your group that I had formed. You all have then, since those 4 months ago, have been training Arienti. You then took her off to fight the hags and were successful. When you came back, it still wasn't enough. I didn't believe it was enough to convince the Crimson Talon. So Arienti choosing to go off and find Vanram after hearing his story, you all left Baldur's Gate, accomplished this task on your own volition, and brought him back. Without my knowledge, brought him back, and this is what I decided was the feather in your cap to prove that this concept would work, and now I'm presenting you all to the Talon.
Sounds good.
Oh, please don't let it be me, the one that has to speak about this. I'm going to...
All of us.
Yeah, you all will need to describe what you have learned from Arienti and what you have taught her.
Okay.
That'll be easy. She's a spellcaster. I could just pretend I taught her how to do that.
Some of her spells can have originated from you.
Rose taught her to
Oh.
revive, and that's an actual thing Rose taught her to do. So
Yeah.
that won't be lying right there.
Yeah. I at least that's an easy thing to say.
Mm-hmm. You taught her healing and revivify. Pill taught her arcane things. Bureau, you're teaching her nature.
Nature and
Animals.
others
Mhm.
and other studies. I mean,
Yeah.
just sort of the way the world works.
History,
Um,
knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me that we did take down Verum, because I had forgotten to put it in the Book of Enchanted Stories. And so now on my list of things that the Book of Enchanted Stories has is the official story of how we took down Verum, because the unofficial version is less scrupulous.
Yes.
Do they know that Verum had to be revived?
Yes, I have informed them of this situation, and that he fell to enemy hands, yet you all still managed to bring him back and allow him to be brought to justice. That's going to weigh a lot in your favor, as well as collecting the artifact that he had taken. Those will both demonstrate your functionality as a group. But I need to prove that this group only works as well as it does because of Arienti's presence in it, because of your training. And by training an individual, you are learning more about your own craft, so that this arrangement is beneficial not just to her, but to all of you.
Okay, yeah, I can work with that.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Wait, can I run to the restroom real quick?
Yes, I have to pee too, so we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we can come back and do...
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Very good.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Nope, you're good. Kyle nods to all of you. Once you all are ready and you've agreed upon this plan, and gathers you all up and leads you into the Crimson Council chambers. There, despite the ostentatiousness of the rest of the guild hall, this is much more of a meeting chamber rather than some kind of formal council room. This is behind closed doors. It's not a official hearing that's open to the public. This is a closed private audience you are having with the council members. And as you arrive in, there are 5 people already sitting at the main table. And we're going to go around the table, and I'm going to introduce each one of them and show you a picture of them. And then I'm going to try my hardest to remember their character voices as I talk to myself. But if you need clarification, you're like, hey Beth, which character is talking behind you. Or try to remind myself. Yeah. So you enter the room, and again, you've got long, big tapestries that depict the Crimson Talons' eye with slash marks through it, their crest. And it's everything here is well crafted. It is ornate, but not flashy. Everything here is gorgeous and well made and elegant, but nothing is gaudy. And the 5 council members are waiting for you. The first one you see is someone I have to share the picture with you all. Okay. Is a red-skinned dragonborn. This individual is wearing what can be loosely called leather armor, or perhaps cloth armor even. Their garb is not meant for protection and more meant for formality. It is very well kept and very prodigious, and they sit tall in their chair. This large red-scaled dragonborn, and he sits there and is watching you all as you enter. No one.
Oh, hey, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no one is talking when you all enter the room. The minute the door opens and Kyleton announces that you are entering, the room is hushed as you 5 enter, or as you 6 enter the room. Next, at Tinchill's right is a elven individual.
Tanish or Tinchill?
Tanich. Sorry, it's Tanich.
Tanich.
Yeah, it's Tanich. And at Tanich's right is an elven individual who is dressed in very much different fashion than you all are used to here in Baldur's Gate. This person is clearly from across the seas. This elven individual and has a albino snake that they are carrying. That seems to just be their constant companion and is sitting over their shoulders. Glimili seems to have a pleasant sort of smile on their face as they watch all of you enter the room, and is sort of petting their snake very gently as you all enter, and is sort of evaluating each one of you as you come in. Their eyes are all... They're a uniform, like, light blue color. There is something like their irises have been blended into the rest of the whites of their eyes. It's all just this soft, light blue color. Sitting next to Gamili is a young-looking halfling woman. Named Hilla. Hilla is in sort of more noble garb than the other two. It's less like adventuring armor and much more just like a fanciful dress. She's sitting there with her hair ornately braided back, and is watching all of you as you enter. Again, a bemused look on your face. She smiles a little bit when she sees Rose walk in. The symbol of Avandra seems to have caught her attention, and it amuses her in some way. Next to Hilla.
Don't worry about it. Not yet.
Okay.
We need to be introduced to the rest.
Yeah. Next to Hilla is a half-elf man. Dressed, again, very much like an adventurer. He actually, of all of them, looks like a proper adventurer. He's dressed very much in the same way Kyleton is dressed, in the fact that this is clearly adventuring garb, and Tanich. Both Tanich and Ward are dressed like they're adventuring and not like they're nobility. And the very last person at the head of the table is a human individual who looks older. He has gray in his hair, and is very, very ostentatious. Of everybody in the room, this individual is the most flashy. There we go. And Ethan is sitting at the head of the table, sort of has his hands folded in front of himself, sitting very tall, very proud, and is the most flashy and the most flashiest of garb out of all of the individuals here. He does not look like he has been adventuring in a while, but like he has. Like he is a very much a former adventurer.
He has
the gruff, with scars and the whole vibe. Like you can clearly tell this individual was an adventurer at one point in time and is no longer an adventurer, but has not lost his edge, if that makes sense. Yeah. And so these are the 5 members of the council sitting before you as you walk in. And none of them say anything as you enter. They all are politely and let all of you take seats. Kyledan does not sit. He instead stands and addresses the council. Thank you for this audience. I am here to present with you what I have been doing, what my reason is for being here in Baldur's Gate these last few weeks. Though I have never been much of a participant in the inner workings of the guild's more day-to-day and admissions process. I have chosen you 5 were chosen among all of the others to be the leaders of the guild for a reason. But I felt it my place to further the reach of the guild, to further what we represent to the world around us, what the Crimson Talon is. And by doing so, I have brought together these individuals. These adventurers are some of the greatest adventurers I have encountered. These 6 have done more for Faerun than most will ever accomplish. And they will continue to do so. They are still in the prime of their careers, in the prime of their glory. And what I want them to accomplish, though they are not members of the Talon, is to raise and train the next generation, to pass on the knowledge that they have gained from their fighting, to teach the next generation. And then he gestures to Arianti. And that is what I have proven we can do, what adventurers can accomplish. That by starting a training session, a training, an apprenticeship option within the Crimson Talon, we can offer adventurers proper training, the proper way to take care of themselves and survive when no guild is around, when no one is there to hold their hand, how to teach them to be proper adventurers. So all guilds but will begin to lose fewer adventurers. That though this is a hard line of work, the loss of life is still unacceptable. And by doing this, by accomplishing this, showing that this can work, I wish to induct Arianti into the guild. And as he's going on this, Ethan sort of raises his hand and goes, Kyledan, yes. Sorry, I have to do his voice. Kyledan, yes, we understand this concept. You have made it very clear that you wish to train young adventurers in this nature. But why this child? Why is she the beginning of this adventure? And Kyledan shifts a little bit and says, I selected her because of her bravery and her courage. But me telling you this is not beneficial. What I will tell you is about the 5 individuals I have brought together to train her. And he starts with you, Kali. And he gestures to you. Kali Rada is an excellent fighter. She has demonstrated not only her capabilities of protecting those around her, but of teaching them how to properly arm themselves to survive a fight, how to work together in a team, not just to save oneself, but to save one's community. She, as a divinely chosen individual and gifted by the gods in her bloodline to be a protector of those around her. She has done many great goods, especially with her sister, and she points to Sarabi. Sarabi is one of the most skilled archers of the wilds. She knows the Fang Woods like the back of her hand and has lived in them her entire life. Yet when she adventures to other lands, to other places, she is no less skilled. Her companion, and he gestures to the giant dire wolf sitting behind you, Sarabi, who's just like sitting there like, like, what the hell am I doing? And is kind of bored. But upon being pointed at, Pietro kind of like looks like sits up a little bit more and is like, oh yes, I'm listening. Her companion has trained a great beast who continues to thrive under her guidance. She knows how to survive in a forest and what it means to live off of the land and how to benefit oneself in environments that are not as civilized as those that we find ourselves today. But with the knowledge of surviving in the wild, one must know how to protect it, and he gestures to Vero, how to guide those to maintain the natural way without losing our civilization, without losing the forests that we have come to need so much. As we know, the nature of this world is sick. There is much wrong with the environment around us. The plague rot grows every day, yet we are doing nothing to protect the nature and the forest. So I have found an individual who knows not only of nature, but of research and knowledge and the lore of the world in order to guide himself in protecting the nature the best way he can, to preserve the natural order of things. And when one is learning the natural order of things, one must also learn the arcane art. And now he's gesturing to Pill. The mastery of magic itself, of what makes an individual, of guiding us, not just with the magic of old, but the up-and-coming arcane arts of artificing, of learning both the magic of the soul and the magic of metal, to fuse those arts together and to make our civilization cohesive amongst the old wizards. And he sort of nods to Gamili, as well as the up-and-coming wizards. We need magic to be both cohesive and our new adventurers to understand both old and new arcane techniques. And lastly, we need someone, a third party, an individual who is here to demonstrate why we adventure, what the heart of adventuring can truly be, who will not play party politics, who has helped hold this group together despite their differences, despite their connections with other guilds and their other politics. These individuals need someone who understands what it is to adventure and to need the luck of travel, to need that minuscule bit of luck that is what can make or break an adventuring. And needs to know religion. And of course, he's gesturing to Rose during this. And when he talks about a bit of luck, Hilly snorts.
To be fair, Rose also snorts a little bit.
Yeah. The need to guide and to heal and to show how we as a society have been pulling apart. You can see it. Our guild has been pulling away from the other guilds, and they have taken after us only in the worst light. They have not excelled in the way we have in finding good adventurers. Yet, we with our benefits and our warriors don't work with them. There's no teamwork. There's no cohesion between the 5 guilds, and there needs to be. There needs to be a better connection between all of us. And I think this apprenticeship can show that this can be accomplished. Together, the Risen have demonstrated that this is possible. That teaching can be done in the field and not done at the risk of their lives, of the risk of the next generation's safety. Here.
Sorry. I gotta say, I got chills from that, and a little bit might be from the thunder that's currently outside, but that was good chills.
And Tinchil, Tinich sort of raises a brow at the Risen. And why the Risen? Why did you pick that name for this group? The Risen are these individuals here have proven that through fire and flame have climbed back up again, have proven that they have the ability to rise above the expectations placed upon them. These individuals have shown that we all can rise above the expectations placed upon us, whether that expectation is to be a child with uncaring, to be a child with whether that expectation is to be a child who sits quietly at home, or that expectation is to be a druid who only knows of the forest, or to be a wizard who cannot learn new tricks, or to be a fighter who cares more about the fight than those around her. We have shown that we can rise above the labels placed upon us, whether those labels were guild-given or self-imposed. They have risen above.
That would have been really awkward to answer if we will still be called the Disaster Brigade.
No, you guys are screwed now. You're the Risen forever. Okay. And Kyleton, the council sort of nods and immediately looks up at all of you and says, "And what are we to do about this, Kai? You have sort of taken the choice away from us by picking these individuals, by choosing them amongst all the others. You have not given us an option so much as a ultimatum. What if we were to disregard your scheme?"
Sorry,
Well,
talking.
Gimili. Okay. The dude with the snake. Well, they would still continue to function as they have functioned. They do not need my guidance any longer. I have brought them together, but they have accomplished many tasks. You've heard of the removal of the hags from Esmelton. That was them. They accomplished this with a trainee amongst them. They have demonstrated that they are capable of working together as a group. Whether you approve of it or not, all I wish is to show that we were the ones who spearfronted this, that we have given this back to the community, that the ability to send us their young and to train them to be adventurers from the very beginning, to train them to be the best adventurers they can. And Hilly sort of shifts a little bit and shares, yes, but why didn't you pick our own people? Why not choose members of the Crimson Talon? And Ward sort of snorts. And Ward snorts. No one of the Talon would ever have gone with this. And Kyle sort of nods. Exactly. We needed outside individuals. The Crimson Talon, our members are always busy. They always have things to do. I had not the resources to gather from the Talon themselves to start such an adventure. But these outside guilds have the talent that we do as well. It is why we invite members from the other guilds into our fold. They have the talent amongst them. But I found individuals who would work well together and had the time without the restriction of being under one guild, without the restriction of being under one set of rules, one set of memberships. With the last member, with our trainee, and he gestures to Arianti, we have the option to be a part of something greater, to show that we can do great. Ethan sort of sits back in his chair. And what of the girl? When Kai starts to speak again, he raises his hand. Not you, Kai. I want to hear from them. Explain to me, explain to us why you 5 wish to accomplish such a task. Why you wish to include such a child in these kinds of adventures, in these kinds of dangers. Why you think you are worthy of training an individual. And Gamili adds, yes, and tell us why she should be a member of the Talon, and not you all. We could just as easily make you all members of the Talon and disregard Kai's attempt to start an apprenticeship. Why must she be the member of our of the Talon, and not you 5?
Sarah is gonna snort at that. Make you members of the Talon.
I'm suddenly not hearing any. Did
Oh.
Beth cut out? Did you cut out? I didn't hear anything.
Can you hear me okay?
No, I can.
Okay, did you hear Gamili tell us why you guys shouldn't be members of the Talon?
Yes, that I hear.
Okay.
You just said something afterwards that I didn't quite get.
Oh, yes, just that tell us why you 5, why I shouldn't make you 5 members of the Talon, why Arianti is special. The floor is open to y'all.
Rose, she rises a bit, she looks over at Hilly and kind of nods, yeah, I gotta stand on the chair. Everything's built for people bigger than me. Sorry. But she rises up in her chair and she puts her hands on the table. I personally, to answer your question about why I shouldn't be in the Crimson Talon, I chose not to be in a guild because I wanted to, as a cleric, I wanted to help others as much as possible. And if I had joined a guild, if I join any guild, that is me putting, I am putting my affiliations, my resources, my everything towards more people than all of the people I could help. As unaffiliated, I can do so much more good from my perspective than I ever could as a member of the Crimson Talon. No offense meant. As for why I think that Arianti should be in the Crimson Talon, I have never met one who is so young and so driven to adventure and so willing to learn from every source she can. She, under my tutelage, I taught her the spell Revivify. And very recent, as you are aware, we recently brought in Verum, deceased. But it was through her use of the spell, her talent, her ability to pull somebody who I did not expect to be able to bring back that way. Particularly for somebody who had never used the spell before. She was the one that brought him back. And for that, and many other reasons that my companions will tell you, I believe she should be a part of the Crimson Talon. And then she sits down.
Sarabi looks around. Anybody wanna go first, or does she go? No? Well, okay. She stands. He says, I don't want to be part of your guild, honestly. And I don't understand why the kid has such fanatism, not trying to insult, but she really admires your guild, so that's the only reason we are actually trying to make her part of this guild. So, you want my honest opinion? I'm a survivalist. I wouldn't be alongside anybody who didn't have the talent or the skill. And she does. She does have those. So, to be honest, whatever you want to make her part of this guild or not, I think she will find a place in any guild she wants to. Because she's just that talented. She's probably the best bard I ever parted with, which is true because she never part with any other bard. So, I can only speak for what I've seen. She knows her role, she knows how to play it, and she's really fast at learning. I say she deserves to have her dream come true. Whatever it is. Then she steps back.
If I may start, personally, while I do consider your guild an important part for the safety of all of us, there's a spotlight on it I'm personally not drawn to. I am not the public face. I do love to bring change to study, though I'm not exactly want to be connected to the famous reputation this guild has. Arianti is absolutely different. She's curious, she's compassionate, she's confident. She can charm anyone she sees. She's determined and driven, and she isn't afraid to say when she sees an injustice, when she considers something wrong. I think part of Kael'dan's reason to include her was to change the people for the better, to become adventurers that can truly do good in this world. And I believe Arianti has the most potential I've ever seen. And she has led me to reflect, to learn. One says one learns best when they teach, and it's been exactly right in this case, and she wasn't afraid. And she wasn't afraid to challenge me on my ideas. And I'm honestly so often so proud. I believe that's all I wanted to say, and thank you for your time. And he's gonna sit down too. Oh my god.
Rad. Okay, so I didn't want to interrupt because you guys kind of had a flow going, but I need all of you to make checks. All of you guys need to make persuasion checks.
Okay.
So each one of you. So far, the three of you who have talked, I need you to make persuasion checks and tell me what they are.
Okay.
You guys got a flow going, and I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm so afraid. Oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to interrupt you guys with D&D. You guys are on a roll.
Oh, that is very fair. Okay. Oh, please.
I'm gonna
please.
close my eyes and I'm gonna roll, and I'm not going to open my eyes.
Remember, Rose, you have DM inspiration from the other session.
I do. This is true. I
Yep.
am going to use it because that was not very good. So, DM inspiration, is that different than regular inspiration?
Nope, works the same way.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
No, so
Use it.
inspiration actually it lets you re-roll a die.
Reroll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a re-roll.
I'm
Yeah.
not picking the dice up. I'm I'm making a picture of it.
What'd you get?
And
Oh,
that's 20.
Oh, rad!
Okay, well, like I said, I needed to re-roll that, so I'm using that inspiration, please.
Okay.
That's better. That's a little better. Okay, that's a 9 altogether for persuasion.
I did dice up, I swear.
No, we get it.
No, I believe you. Well done.
Congrats.
It fits Vero so good.
It was better than my previous roll, which was a 5.
So you got a 9?
Oh wait, no, I got a 9 for this roll, so that's actually 13 for persuasion.
13. Okay. All right.
I got
Since-
9 in total, which makes sense because Arabi sucks at people liking her. So
Since when is Vero charismatic?
He's charismatic when it counts.
Yeah.
He's just bad at it. He's just bad at it every other time. Okay. Who's next?
It makes sense because it was a middling speech that I just made up off the top of my head anyway. So,
Welcome to the club.
Yeah, really. Alright, okay, this Callie will go. As for the reason I think you, or the reason I wouldn't be joining the Crimson Talon is, and she looks at Sarabi, she goes, I stay with my family. Like, she goes, I go. And she goes, but for, sorry, distracted by fucking, anyway, sorry. As for
okay,
why,
I'm gonna stop. Sorry.
okay. As for why I believe Arianti would be a good fit for the Crimson Talon is because she wants to be. And it's more than just that she wants to be, it's the fact that she has an incredible talent that I've never seen in a kid her age. How many kids do you know at her age can bring someone back to life? How many people how many kids can inspire people to fight harder and better and to stay alive in combat when facing giant snake monsters? It's like, what kid throws herself into a battle for other people because she wants to keep them safe or because she wants to keep an enemy from having an object that could hurt millions of other people? It's like, this kid not only is good with magic and can sing like an angel, she's pretty good at she's good at maneuvering around, she's good at talking to people, and she's good at keeping us together and, admittedly, calling us out on our own crap.
Yeah, you.
She's only 12. Imagine what she'll be like when she's my age or your age. You're looking at a kid who's going to be incredible, if not the best fucking bard in the world, pardon my language.
Tinich snorts.
Mm-hmm. I think by not having her in the Crimson Talon, you are missing out on one of the best people in the world. You're letting a great opportunity slip out of your fingers. She deserves it because she wants it more than anything, and she has the shit to back it up. She'll do that.
No,
Okay. Make a roll.
Okay. natural 20.
Ooh.
Holy shit!
Two nat 20s! Two nat 20s!
Brad.
And,
Okay.
and I don't know if it matters, but plus with her, is it just a straight charisma or persuasion?
Persuasion.
With her persuasion.
So far, none of you have lied.
Yeah, with her persuasion, it makes it a 25. I don't know if that matters, but yeah.
25. Okay, but yes, it's a nat 20.
Okay.
Okay. For the record, I am taking into account your speeches, so you guys are getting bonuses for you convincing the GM, addition to the roll. So this is not just, well, my speech was really good, but I sucked the roll. Vice versa. You got a nat 20, baby. You are convincing your shit. Okay. I think Pill is left. Now, you don't have to say anything, Pill, if you don't want to, but this is this is the time if you want to make a persuasive argument.
Well, as for why I shouldn't be in the Crimson Talon, I already have plenty of obligations elsewhere. I am focused on my research as both an artificer and a wizard. And I am also focused on my efforts with helping out the Violet Widow. And while I understand that you could transfer me, I firmly believe that my place is with them. And I agree with their beliefs, and I agree with their methods much more with what they are currently doing. I hope in the future that I can travel up north and help out with the efforts there. I do have some obligations I have there, and I also, the reason why I think Ariente should be a member of your guild, the others have already pointed it out. She is a true prodigy of not just persuasion and performance, but as a magic caster as well. I mean, any spell she learns, and she can learn any spell, she casts it in such a way where someone who's studied it for a long time will not be able to compare or compete with her. And that alone is enough to make her talented, to point out, to show her in the spotlight. But that's not enough. I believe that she has proven herself worthy of joining. I mean, who else really is interested in helping not only complete strangers, but is willing to contribute so much to the world that hasn't really done anything for her yet? She wants to make a name for herself, and quite honestly, is that at all a bad thing? Is that anything that anyone else in this room wasn't looking forward to doing at some point in their life? Who wasn't in the same shoes as her? You've all been given that same chance that I believe she deserves. Now, there was a time when you were in her shoes, when you were young and when you showed promise and showed talent. And people looked at you and they accepted you. I believe in destiny and I believe in fate. And I believe this has all been done for a purpose. And right now, I believe we've all come together for the purpose of teaching the next generation, and her being a representative of that. I think that she deserves that same chance that we have all been given. And the pill ends with that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Rose kind of looked over at Pill a little bit, like glanced over, not like made a face or anything when he talked about fate and destiny, but otherwise keeps her face as neutral as possible.
Natural 20, by the way.
Oh my god.
Holy
Are you
shit.
serious?
I'm so glad I'm not in combat with all of you right now. Okay.
Verbal combat at this point.
Ethan sort of nods as you finish up. It's the five of you sort of finish up your explanation as to why Arianti should be the guild and why none of you want to join yourselves.
Yeah, because you suck.
Yeah, your 9 was deserved.
I know.
Your argument was y'all suck. I don't want to be. It's not a.
You can't fault her for being earnest, though.
No, no.
Argument was, I hope they understood what my argument was, that it was coherent enough.
Yeah. I understood
Okay.
what you guys were all arguing. Ethan sort of nods as you sit down. I understand that her I understand that her determination is a compelling part of why she should be part of the guild. And yes, we value determined souls, those who are not destined to sit idly behind on the sidelines, that are not waiting for their chance to pass them by. But what makes you, and he points to you, Arianti, think that the Crimson Talon is where you need to be? Why not join one of the other guilds? Why do you want to be a part of the Talon? And you guys can kind of see Kyle go, oh shit, oh no. As Kyle's like, as Kyle, by the way, has been listening to all of you guys, he's been keeping a very straight face, but you can see he is definitely like picking at his nails underneath the table, because this is the biggest lie. This dude has had to roll so many bluff checks. Like he has been deceiving left and right to get this to work. But yes, Arianti, why do you think you should be part of the guild?
God, it teaches me as a person, so this might not be the best, but I'm gonna try. Because since I was much younger than I am now, I've heard the stories about the Crimson Talon, about the things that they did long ago and up until now, how their mission was to save people, to make sure that everyone was safe and sound, and the amazing adventures that they went on. And I just felt like that. God, I'm so bad at this.
It's okay. You can do it.
Oh, no. You're
I
actually
felt like that was something I wanted to be a part of, that I too wanted to be a hero. I wanted to be part of the Crimson Talon so that I can do the amazing things that you guys can do, that I can save people from dragons and thieves and all of that stuff that just brings so much terror to people's lives. What do I say next? And while I know there are other guilds out there is no comparison to the Crimson Talon. Crimson Talon, if I wanted to really be out there and saving people, I knew that this is the place I needed to be. I'm done. I don't know anything else to say.
Okay. Go ahead and make a persuasion roll.
Only a lie would be is like I told them when I was a kid.
No, it's cool. It's a persuasion.
I was wondering.
You are technically still a kid, so you are still looking up to the Talon. It is not a lie.
My character
I
sheet.
love
It
this.
is not a lie.
Yeah.
Okay, can I give myself a point of inspiration?
Yes, you can roll with bardic inspiration. You are inspiring yourself.
Okay.
I actually, realistically, what has happened is
I'm gonna-
listening. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what happened is listening to everyone else has inspired me.
Yes. They
So
inspired you.
guys. She
Um,
was like giving everyone like, especially when Sarabi, she was like, Sarabi thinks I'm good.
Yeah, they inspired you.
Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna do the regular roll first. which is a 19.
Her performance and her persuasion are the
Oh,
same.
the same.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, they're both
okay,
a plus
performance?
9.
They're both
Oh,
a
okay.
9. So it's still a 19.
So it's
Yeah.
fine, yeah.
And then a D8, so it makes it 24.
Okay.
Oh,
Again.
Performance and persuasion are next to each other, and they're both P's,
They're
and they
both
have
Ps,
female
yeah.
letters.
And they have
Oh, I
the
get
exact
it.
same
Since-
number. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
Per-
since I
per.
know your persuasion and your performance are both the same stat, I just ignore it when you click the wrong one. They're the same. Okay, Jesus, I'm so glad I'm not fighting you guys. I reiterate, y'all will be beating the shit out of some monsters right now.
we are metaphorically beating the shit out of these guys.
Kai stands up once
Verbally.
again. Yep, you're verbally attacking them. Kai stands up once again and stands behind Ariante's chair and goes, she could inspire the next generation of adventurers. She could show that we are not just in it for the sake of money, that we're not in it just for glory. Though glory is a part of what we do, it comes with the job. She can represent where the guild can go next. So we can escape the stagnation we've fallen into. This, making apprentices, having the option to teach and not just be forced to learn these lessons the hard way, is the future of adventuring. And as someone who led adventuring into the future once before, this is the way we need to move forward. And the guild all kind of nods and looks at all and Ethan says once again, thank you for your insights into your adventures and the things you have done thus far. We have reviewed your accounts and the accounts of others regarding the several adventures Kyldin has given to us, saying that you, the Risen, have handled. Now that we have heard from you all, we need to discuss amongst ourselves what is to be done next. Whether Kyldin's petition is to be accepted. You may leave the guild hall, but do stay in the upper city so our couriers might find you once again when we are ready to give you our verdict. You will have it before the end of the day. You are dismissed. Did anybody have anything else they wanted to say to the guild before you're leaving? The guild's council?
Here. No.
Nope. Phil
nope.
just bows his head respectfully and walks off.
Yeah. Yeah, Rose just gets up and leaves. She gives respectful bows, nods, whatever is appropriate.
And all of you are sort of escorted out, and sort of the six of you are let out. And as Kyldin heads for the door, you hear Gamili say, "Not you, Kai. Stay with us. We have much to discuss." And Kyldin kind of looks back at all of you and goes, and just kind of shrugs a little bit, and then just sort of gives you guys a thumbs up, and then kind of like closes the door.
I don't think that we'll need an insight check to know that he knows that he thinks he's in trouble.
Oh yeah, he's so screwed. He's in so much trouble.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he is about to get read the riot act. But yes, I mean, because apparently, according to him, he's under their noses.
Oh yeah, they're gonna go all full drill sergeant on them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're gonna try. Y'all made some really compelling arguments and saying. Okay. So
Is there anybody in the like the guards outside where
Mhm.
we all left?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta keep going. Like if we want
can-
to help out anything.
you can stay in the guild hall. There's like a lounge area that they'll lead you to. One of the weird like clone escort children things that are they're like the Uncanny Valley doll children clone people. They're still here, so they'll guide you to like a sitting area if you'd rather wait there for the guild to make their decision, or you guys can wander around the upper city. You just can't leave the upper city while they're deliberating.
She meant like we need to not talk about it in front of the guards so we don't get found out.
Yes. Yes.
We just need to keep walking until we reach a place where there are no people from this guild that can hear us and see us.
Okay.
We should leave
Basically
the building
outside.
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys might want to just go outside if you want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
Bill like walks off somewhere else and like holds his ring up. He's like, thinks about Rona. He's like, what would you have said?
Okay.
The first thing Ariante's gonna do when they're alone is like, did you guys mean all those things that you said about me?
Why would
The
we-
moment
why would
the
we
moment
lie?
just gonna say the moment they walk outside and they close the doors, and Ivy falls to her knees and then puts her forehead on the ground. That was so hard. I don't want to. I don't want to people again in my life now.
Bro also kind of. I mean, he doesn't do it as obviously, but he kind of deflates and takes a deep breath, and he's just shaking a little because he hates public speaking too.
This is the moment to panic. Right?
Rose goes ahead and puts a sympathetic hand on both of them, on Vero's like thigh and on Sarabi's head. There. Once you do one speech in front of a bunch of very important people, you've done a bunch of them.
Will you do my next speech for me?
I will try.
Personal
Honestly, I thought it'd
experience,
be a
it
little bit
won't.
tougher.
Personal experience, it won't get any easier.
Did
I'm
you guys
glad it wasn't any
think you said
tougher.
about me?
Of
Of
course.
course.
Yeah.
Aww.
Listen, Ariante. First of all, why would we lie about somebody that we desperately care about? We might butt heads quite a bit, but like we do it out of love, and everything that all of us have said is completely true.
Kid, we wouldn't have walked in here or even had been here to begin with if we didn't think you deserved. If we didn't think you. I can't do words. We wouldn't be here.
Words are hard.
Yeah. We wouldn't be here if we didn't think that you didn't deserve to be in the Crimson Talon.
I need to treat you all to lunch. It's like midday, right?
yes, yeah, it's midday.
I'm gonna treat them all to lunch. No matter what happens, I appreciate you all, and I want to do something for you.
Yeah.
And if they're
Lunch is on me!
and
What?
if they're idiots and they don't accept you, I'm sure any other guild would gladly accept you, kid.
Oh.
Yeah,
It would
come
be
to the damn
wonderful to
Phoenix.
have you.
Or we'll just go make our own guild.
That too.
Just think about it like this: if they don't want you, they don't deserve you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll make it much
Indeed.
easier to cope.
They will in a few years, if they disagree, they will regret it so badly.
And then you can say, I told you so.
I told you so. I
But-
still hope it went through all right.
Yeah, we hope you get in too, but also, regardless what happens, you also owe Kyleton a lot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, was there anything you guys wanted to do while they're deliberating? If not, we can
to
we can-
lunch.
Yeah, okay. So you guys go get a fancy lunch in the upper city. Every time a guard comes up to you, be like, excuse me, you can't have that beast in here. You just show them the letter from the Crimson Talon, and they grumble and wander off. But you guys have to you're almost tempted to tape it to Pietro.
Type it to the dog, like on his collar.
Listen, in the middle of lunch, Rose is like, listen, What we need is just a sign, a patch on the side of Pietro's clothes that says something like official dog of Sarabi or something like that. Official dog of the Crimson Talon. Something to keep the guards from bothering us every 5 minutes.
Oh my god, it reminds me of like the one comedy skit of like some kid hitting a building with a hammer. He's like, "Hey kid, what are you doing? Hitting this building with a hammer? You can't do that." My parents are dead.
It's okay.
And he just doesn't do anything.
I got you, fam.
Actually-
And she reads, I can do what I want on Pietro's clothes.
Okay. You guys have lunch. And it gets close to like maybe 5 p.m. that you guys are kind of just kicking your heels before a messenger finds you guys and brings you back to the Talon. Like, they were talking for many hours before they bring you guys back in.
Paladin got the ass chewing of a lifetime.
Yes and no. Yes and no. Kyleton got his ear talked off. But he also started the guild. He has a little bit more weight that he can start throwing around now that you all are in the yeah, because he was gonna start saying some shit and pulling out the receipts on some of them. Because he's been here from the beginning and knows all the stupid shit they did. He just didn't want to say it in front of you guys. Yeah. He helped put them in the council.
Yeah.
So he has all of the dirt. Yeah. Okay. Then since none of you guys wanted to try to spy on the council, we'll jump back into the council chamber.
Would we want to, knowing that there are guards there? We are not rogues. They're gonna find and just kick our ass out.
But there are windows and Princess is a thing.
Yes. I know you people. I wanted to give you every opportunity to do what you wanted to do.
I think that
And we ended up doing what we wanted.
Yes, and you guys went and got lunch instead. It worked. It's just fine for me. I have no complaints.
I honestly, if somebody did end up suggesting, well, we could probably spy, Rose is probably like, no, we need to be legit. We need to make absolutely certain that there is no reason for them to say no to Arianti.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys are brought back into the room. And you see the 6 of them. The 5 of them plus Kyleton have all kind of the state of the room and the trays and the different teacups and the glasses of water and the kind of the scraps of paper spread places and how some of them have like lost some of their like ornate like overcoats. They've taken them off. They have been doing nothing but talking for the last 5 hours or the last or so, like 3 or 4 hours or so. These guys have been doing nothing but talking.
Oh no, poor guy.
No.
So when you guys approach, you realize they're all kind of like sort of putting their hair back to rights, and the snake is just kind of stretched out in like a warm patch on the table. He slithered away at some point, is now just like chilling at a different portion of the table, just dead asleep. And so they're all kind of like, putting on their like overcoats and stuff as you guys come back in, and they're taking their seats once more. And Kai just kind of is sitting there, his hat's still on the table, and he clearly looks like he's run his fingers through his hair like a bunch. Now, to be fair, his hair always kind of looks like that, so it's not super unusual. But you can see everybody kind of looks like this has been a long ass meeting. And they ask you to sit down once more, and this time Tanich is the one who addresses you. So you all made excellent points in your favor, and we discussed with Kyleton about your merits individually, and we understand each of you why you do not wish to be a part of our guild. We accept that your states of mind are why you choose not to be part of our guild, and that you have other loyalties, and we respect those wishes. Your heroism has been heard across Baldur's Gate. We know of not only what you have done for our guild, but as well as for the town of Esmeralton. Many a hero and adventurer has died at the fate of those hags. They had become an ongoing thorn in our side, nearly as detrimental as the void that exists in the north. It is growing more difficult to ignore even for our guild. Though we have sent many up there, none have returned. We know it has nearly consumed the Violet Widow, and he makes a nod to Pill. But you have proven, with the help of Arianti, that cohesion can provide more support than the guilds initially had functioned under. The other guilds, as you all know, are more interconnected than the Crimson Talon ever was. They work together in a sense. They share community spaces. They allow for interactions amongst each other. We have grown distant. But Kyleden's words, and your own, have given us reason to accept his offer. We will instate Arianti into the first apprenticeship ever done by any guild. This official apprenticeship will start at the end of the week, and you will officially be a member of the Crimson Talon. But heed this. Kai will be your emissary to the guild from this point on. Your deeds will be his deeds. Your follies will be his follies. Understand that this endeavor rests in his hands, and thus its downfall will be his own. What you 6 do, if this all fails, is your own devices. It will not reflect poorly on any of you. You have your own adventures, your own guilds, your own lives to lead. But Kyleden will be excluded from the Talon should something terrible happen. He will lose his rank amongst us. And he is willing to do that for you all. Willing to put his name on the line for your persistence. Hilly kind of shifts in her chair a little bit and goes, but do not think that this is to be a task taken on lightly. You are to care not only for this child, but for the missions that we give her. You have to maintain your respect in your own guilds, as well as help your member in training accomplish the tasks we give her. There will be hardships that you will undergo, but every individual who is in the Crimson Talon must undergo them. Typically, to enter the Talon, we expect our adventurers to slay a dragon. It is the most common way we acknowledge their rite of passage, their demonstration of how good they are. But we are going to waive this request that you all fight a dragon due to what you have done for us and for the safety of our guild here in Baldur's Gate. We deeply respect that you have not only the power, but the diligence to resurrect an individual who, by all accounts, did not wish to be brought back. We have interviewed him extensively, and he was not pleased to discover his current state of arrest, to say the least. But we have faith in fate and luck. And he says, when he says fate, he looks to Pill. When he says luck, she looks to Rose. And we are glad to include you all into the fold. Ward kind of sits back a little bit in his chair and sort of, I, for one, don't think we should be doing this. But I was overruled. But no, I will have no compunction in revoking your title, Arianti, and removing you from the guild. Just understand, we are not all in your corner, though many of us wish to see you succeed. It will benefit the guild immensely to show that we are of the people once again, that we're not just a guild for the noble and the idle rich, that the common folk can still approach us, can still send us their talented, their youth, and we can train them to do better, to be good, that we are not without help from the other guilds. And finally, Ethan sort of stands up once more, and he nods to all of you, and sort of the council sort of stands up and says, "You've heard our opinions on this matter, and we welcome you to the Crimson Talon." And all five of them sort of stand up together and kind of nod to you, sort of the accepting you into the fold. When they do this, Kai just puts his head on the table. Hilly snorts and kind of leans over and sort of pats Kai's shoulder, and goes, "It's okay, Kai. We know we were giving you a hard time. Giving me a hard time is an understatement, you bitch."
Rose completely covers her mouth to hide the fact that she's smiling, and she does that demure nod, like, "Oh, this is such a good thing," and then she just covers her mouth, like, "Oh my god."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We're merrily bows, and I think I can talk for all of us when I say that we're honored to be given this opportunity.
Not all of us.
From the table, when you say not all of us, from the table, the snake hisses and speaks it common. "That's okay." And then sort of gets up and starts to snake its way on the table back to Gamili, who casually picks up their snake again, and nods to all of you and goes, "Yes. Now that this matter is done, Kyledin will guide you through the final last few bits of paperwork to finalize this new arrangement. And as our emissary of the young and the new, we will expect to hear many a report from you, as well as yours, regarding your adventures and how you have succeeded in the tasks we have given you. We will need to know, of course, your whereabouts and where you are to be, so we know which guild halls we are to be sending your mail. But as this is commonplace for the other adventurers, this can be done with their guidance as well." And they nod to all of you, and they sort of finish scooping up their stuff and are sort of beginning to file their way out. Hylia, by the way, when Kyle called her a bitch, kind of smacked him in the side of the head, and then kept going. No, just like a light cuff on the back of the head and kept walking. But no insult was offered by calling her a bitch.
Goodbye, thank you for the trust. And she looks at Ward pointedly. The feeling is mutual.
But yes, the five of them sort of collect their things and wander off, leaving you all in the council room as well as Kyleton. And Kyleton kind of, once they're gone, he kind of lifts his head up and sort of puts his head, is sort of like smushing his face in his hand, and is sort of looking at all of you and goes, ugh, it's like having 5 parents, but I'm older than most of them.
Do you think if I written the Council of Douchebags in the door, they're gonna know it's me?
Yes.
Damn it.
Just sitting there shaking and then shaking some more, and she's like, yeah!
I was waiting for that.
I'm in the talent, a Christmas talent. I'm in the talent.
Kyleton's just sitting there with this bemused look on his face as he watches her basically dance on the chair.
She bends over, shakes her butt. I'm in the talent. I'm in the talent.
TikTok dancing.
So, what about going out tonight to a drinking night with all of us, just to relax?
I'm gonna get shit faced.
I will have to issue a new ring, Arianti, so you can keep your old one, but we'll need to give you a new one with the proper insignia and enchantment upon the ring, to indicate that you are in fact a member of the Talent. We will also provide you a letter of acknowledgement for the instances in which you are not believed, so that way you can further support this idea with the appropriate seal and magics upon it to indicate that yes, this is an official ruling by the council themselves. Yeah, I'm gonna kind of be sort of who you guys talk to, so you guys don't send your reports to the council. Send them to me. I will edit. Yeah, so when you send your
Sorry.
when you give me your reports, be as honest as you guys can, so I can be as honest as I can admitting certain factors. But I will I need to know what you all are doing in order to lie correctly.
I think at this point, because we don't know what kind of trouble we will get into, and I have a distinct feeling that we will get into a lot of trouble, I think we should set up a code word for sending something to you, saying, "Hey, this can't," just like a code word of, "Hey, we can't actually tell you what happened, but here is what here is the story that we decided on."
So do we assign one of us to read the reports, or like?
I know thieves can't. Do any of you?
No.
Can do what?
Thieves can't.
No, but
Oh.
I can insult you using hands.
No, we do not.
Okay. Because as it's literally the language that means we fucked up, and I need to hide something hidden in a letter. That's the language people.
Well, it's.
Is there a way to learn it?
Hold on.
How about just an acronym?
I would like you all to be as honest as you can to me. If you fear the information that is in your letters could be harmful to yourselves, then do not send it. Figure out a way to send me a message. You have that capability, do you not?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do. Hold on. I'm trying to find who can learn illusory script.
Yeah, illusory script would work too. But yes, since I'm fully apprised of your guys' situation, I will edit out the parts that are that
Not
need to
very
remain hidden. So since I'm going to be the ones who are going to be giving the reports to the council, I will make sure that your language has been compiled and corrected in such a way that it maintains this little fiction we have going.
Okay. By the way, informationally speaking, Arianti, you can know illusory script. I just don't know how all the bard spells work. So technically speaking, we could send a message that will be completely encoded except for us and Kai.
Yeah, it's what's it? Since bards don't have they're not ritual casters, so they don't know all of the spells and have to pick in the morning. They have a spell book like situation. So she can learn that spell at some point, but she does not know it currently.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rose wouldn't know that, but I know. So.
Kai would probably know that one.
Oh, hey,
It
Phil can
may
learn
be-
it too.
Yeah, it may be a situation you guys might want to do, but for right now, since Kai trusts that you guys can tell him in sending, hey, the letter we just sent to you that's titled whatever or has this date on it is a lie. When we meet up with you, we'll tell you the 100% truth or why it's a lie or why it's not complete.
Yeah. Phil
Yeah.
turns to Kyle and he's like, now let me ask you this. Do any of them know True Sight or have it?
Yes.
That's a bad idea.
Okay, never mind then. Well, okay.
Well, again, Kai is the one who's getting the letters. So he's not going to show them whatever you guys give him. He's going to rewrite what you guys say and compile them into a official report. So it will be an issue if someone who's intercepting your mail has True Sight, but if not, then it won't be an issue. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like nothing you guys give Kai or send in is going to be seen by any of these five. He is going to make sure everything has been rewritten in his own words before the council sees it. So yeah. So despite the fact that the council says mail us your reports, Kai is like, don't do that. Disregard that one. Mail them to me and I'll give them to the council.
Okay.
That's totally not suspicious at all.
No, Kyle's just being like their handwriting's terrible. Trust me.
I mean, he's the future
Sources, trust me, bro.
Kyle has a significant enough standing with them that yes, trust me, bro, works.
Okay.
I do take offense to that, but for the sake of the charade,
Yeah.
you may say that.
But yeah, so Kyle will also send you guys essentially mission updates. So like you guys can continue to pick missions from the guilds. Arianti is going to be assigned missions. So basically I get to pick missions that I'm giving her. And they're going to be hard. Just for clarification's sake. Because
and we're gonna be
the
watching.
thing that they have to do to get into the guild is to kill a freaking dragon. Like,
Yeah.
Well, wow, it would really be a shame if that was already a thing we were planning on doing.
yeah, telling them all,
dragon
hey, by the
died.
way, we got killed by a dragon and then we got resurrected. Not the best way to start with these people.
Probably not.
But yeah,
That was a
the
couple levels ago, but still.
Yeah, I was saying, I'd like to see them fight a dragon lich.
that's true. That's true. That would be entertaining.
Anyway.
Yeah, see how well those assholes do.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is sort of the situation. Is Arianti is technically a member in training. You guys are her teachers, and Kyleton is the guy who's supervising this new adventuring thing. This new endeavor.
Alright.
They're the teachers, and he's the principal.
Similar, yes. You all are spies, and he is the Q to your guys' spy organization.
Also, if we fuck up, he's going to be blamed for it.
Yes, he is put essentially his clout behind all of you, and is keeping you guys protected from any of the shit that might fall down upon you. Especially, yeah. Just from the other guilds, because this was not discussed with any of the other guilds, and suddenly they're saying this was a group guild effort and blah blah blah, and they're all going to pitch it like all the other guilds is going to happen. Kai is going to have to run around, and since he's of course knows all of the people in the other guilds and etc., is going to be able to fudge this to make it look like it's been a plan the whole time. So that's why Kyle needed to put his clout behind all of this, was because he out of all of the members of the Crimson Talon and his party are the few that actually sneak around in disguise to pretend to be part of the other guilds. So yeah, so
Why do everything we keep hearing about the Crimson Talon make them look worse? Not to make them look better.
they're pretentious snobs. Kai understands this. That he realized what was happening to the Talon, and instead of trying to fix it, like right at the beginning, didn't. Yeah, he just didn't. He went off and did missions and fought the good fight, and then when he came back and realized they were more snobby, he left on more missions sooner. Like, he just avoided the problem until he can't avoid it anymore. And he probably, huh?
He's not a very good leader.
No,
No.
no, he's terrible at it.
The fact that he's one of the few of the originals alive is no indication of his leadership skills.
Yeah.
No, just his race, that's all.
He's trying though, and he's getting better.
And he ducks faster. Like,
Yeah.
it's his race, and he ducked more.
Oh, that's so. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Kai's sort of situation in this is very much he didn't want to handle that. That sounded like a lot of work, and he didn't want to do it. And then he would have continued in this mindset until he found out about Arianti being alive. That was kind of the turning point for him, and he's like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I have to be a grown-up again. Last 100 years I haven't.
Your vacation is over.
So he's going to come out drinking with all of us or not?
Yes, he'll go drinking. He'll go drinking with you guys. He actually invites the other cats too, not the guild members, but a few of his other party members he invites as well to go drinking with all of you, because they kind of need to know what bullshit Kyle is pulling now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Including the dude who tried to read our minds.
Elvara, yeah.
Elva. Yeah.
Elvara, yeah.
Elver or something. Yeah, Elver, I think. He's the halfling, the blind halfling monk. Yeah, he's coming with you guys. He's actually a close friend of Kai. The reason why he showed up to read your all minds is because Kai asked him to. That's not like a normal shit. Kai was like, oh god, I need to double check these people. It's Kai in full panic mode. The behind the scenes for some of the stuff that has happened so far with Kyleton has been absolutely hilarious. It's just difficult to explain. Kyle running around with like a chicken with his head cut off for 2 weeks.
He's so not equipped for this position. It's just
no, he didn't apply for jack shit. He just It just ended up this way. This was not something Kyleton chose. This was sort of given to Kyleton on a silver platter. And he's like, I didn't order this. Yeah.
Oh dear.
I have written so much backstory for Kai, it's not even funny. He is a fully fleshed out dude. Yeah. Which will be handy because he's also a reoccurring character forever now.
Yay! We now have a manager.
Yes, you do. You have a team manager.
One whose life we can
The
totally
sponsor.
Yes, you have a sponsor. So Kai gets you a new ring, Arianti. So go ahead and put in there ring. Let's see, Crimson Talon signet ring. You might want to put like parentheses official, but yes, you have an official ring as well as an official letter from the Talon, indicating your status. Which I need to now update your renown table, because your renown changed. Yeah, those are really the only things that you've gotten from the guild thus far. We will start discussing whether you get other things besides missions from the guild as time goes on. You will also start getting access to some of the Crimson Talon discounts because you're not a full-fledged member. So there's some of the things like some of the discounts and respectability that you don't have yet because you're a member in training, but you still have the weight of your signet ring to sort of throw around now.
Nothing.
Yep. Yeah, so that's kind of the Crimson Talon portion of the escapades. Yes, you guys can go absolutely get shit-faced. If we want to RP that, you are welcome.
I will like to tribute as a designated parent.
Okay.
Yeah, this.
When you say I'd like to be designated parent, Kyle then picks his hat up off the table and puts it on your head. Good for you, and keeps walking.
He needs to get shit's face more than anybody else.
Mhm.
It was supposed to be wordplay on designated driver.
I was
Take
like,
care
oh
of
yeah,
them.
well, I need to get shit-faced more than you times a million.
I think that during this particular night of drinking, that's when Rose actually talks to Kali about her idea of sending a letter with an official from the desk of the risen letterhead and everything to her family, saying that they found like a journal of roses, but and that the group is going to be sending are going to be bringing it with them to Vineshade, so that she can. And she asked Kali to write it because, and I quote, "I don't want them recognizing my handwriting and freaking out."
Okay, so the claim is that we found belongings of Roses and we're going to return them, not that Rose is alive.
Correct.
Okay.
I have the letter actually that I wrote. It's the one that I put in. I forget how many sessions ago.
I think I have that one.
You probably do.
Yeah.
But I can link it to you again.
Okay. Yes, it is a great idea. That's a great representation of a horrible idea. Kyle's really going out on a limb with you guys.
Yeah, not his best moment. No.
But yes, it also means that if you guys have long-term research things you want Kyle to do, he has access to the information that the Crimson Talon has. So if you guys are like, hey, what the hell is this thing? Kyle then has the opportunity to go around and start kind of poking into it. Or, hey, so-and-so attacked us. What the fuck's up with that? You can start asking, like, he can start networking, essentially, for some of you guys to sort of look into things as needed.
Speaking of networking, can we ask him to contact some of the people who are in Neverwinter about the dragon the dragon attack from 100 years ago?
Okay, yeah, he can go into it. I mean, he was there when the dragon attacked.
Oh, well, even better. Hey, so
not in Neverwinter, but the one that attacked when it attacked Phelan. He was in Phelan.
Yeah, I think
that's where he. Yeah.
I think
lost
that
R.E.M.P.
I think that even this night when everybody's drinking, sure, he's drinking to forget, but for a little bit, he will be more willing to talk about things that upset him. So,
yes.
So, okay, 100 years ago, when the dragon burst out of the mountain, can you can you just walk me through the sequence of events of what happened then? We can't really get a lot. We didn't really get a lot of, as you might expect, personal tales of what happened that day. But I just would like to get a better perspective of what exactly happened.
Is Pill black now? Is that the chosen color for him? I saw black. Oh my God, what color is that?
No, I'm playing with it.
That's fine. Kyle kind of, he just sighs. The dragon, there's this massive beast. It burst from the mountains, and just laid waste to Phelan. It destroyed homes, and we drove it off, but we didn't kill it. We just sent it away, and then it attacked other cities. It just no city escaped its carnage. Even Baldur's Gate was attacked. It laid waste to many cities. The only it was said to have been felled, that the dragon was killed, but I mean, we never found its horde. It didn't have a horde in the mountain we checked. It didn't. The remains of the dragon were said to have crashed into the sea. That they shot it out of the sky and it was killed, but I mean, it was an ancient beast that someone had pissed off, and it just laid waste to the country for probably 2 weeks or so. We just devastating attack after devastating attack. And then it crashed into the sea after a few heroes fought it here on the coast. There were parties that went out to look for its remains, like its skeleton. I don't know how successful they were. Dragon hide can be very valuable, but no one was ever successful in finding the beast's remains. We still have never found its lair. We don't know where its lair was.
She gives a sigh about that because, well, we knew that the sorry, Sano, I interrupted you.
Did you or did I enter? Sorry, I just kind of wanted. Do I want to ask about Cinderin Castle because it was one of the forts?
Mm-hmm. You can ask.
Have there been any accountances from the attack on Cinderin Castle and how it was defended so well?
The beast must have attacked the region, but the hillside, the valley in which the castle is and the town must have been protected. It didn't attack every village and but the major cities, the major locations, the highest population of people were attacked. It targeted the epicenters of Faerun. It wanted the destruction of these cities, not just for the sake of destruction. It wasn't just killing everyone. It was aiming for populated regions. It likely flew over the mountain range. I know not whether it landed or attacked that region.
All right.
I believe that the dragon that attacked. I'm trying to remember. Did I describe it as being skeletal? Did I say it was just a dragon?
You said black dragon.
Black dragon. Yeah. Okay, cool. Then yes, it still is a black dragon. That is recollection. I wanted to remember what I had said. Yeah. It is a black dragon, and everyone's reports is black dragon.
Yeah, I don't know if you say a black dragon or only that it used poison. Or
It used acid. It used acid breath.
And we deduced it was a black dragon because of the acid breath.
Yeah.
But
The
it is black.
Yes, it is a black dragon. That's what all of the reports are of a black dragon attacking places. Ancient, massive ancient black dragon was just attacking the countryside. It was like a 2-week period before the beast was struck down and fell into the river and fell into the ocean.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Kyle, then the Herald's tomb was definitely not its lair.
Yeah, something had happened in the tomb, but so much of it had been destroyed when we had gone there, it was hard to even gain access to.
At that point, she just kind of scratches the side of her face. Well,
We have him.
Yeah, something happened in the tomb, alright. Bring me another one, bartender.
We have him to the tomb, uh-huh. Mhm.
Well, I mean, the dragon ripping its way out of the tomb also happened.
Yeah.
That one wasn't technically on you guys.
I mean, we got pissed it off, so.
yeah.
You did, but you also it could have been worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you. I cannot tell you what you succeeded in doing because of what you did. You guys haven't learned what happened.
And then Crystal, we prevented something, but we don't know yet.
Just whatever
Well, you don't know
succeeded-
the ramifications.
Yeah, whatever we
Yeah.
succeeded in stopping him and doing really made him upset. And so
Yeah.
that made him go on a terror spree for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, and it wasn't just like a dragon attack where it was like goal oriented. The dragon or the dragon that attacked was just being vicious.
Mhm.
It was just a fury where it was trying to hurt as many people as it could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not for gain, it was for rage.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't he gonna be glad to see us again?
It was hurting as many people as possible now too. Blah. Didn't think this.
Burninating Baldur's Gate, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's still more first-person information than we had before. Thank you. I know it's probably not easy for you to recall it, but we very much appreciate it. We want to track that dragon down.
If it still lives, so do I. I don't know whether it was shot into the sea. I decided that would be the end of it for me. It was killed, and I had to move on.
I get it. I don't blame you. With the information that you had and seeing what you did see, I just have a funny feeling about this dragon because we didn't face a black dragon in that tomb. Or at least if it was a black dragon, it certainly didn't have enough scales for us to tell what color it used to be.
Or body fat.
Or body
For that
fat.
matter. Or muscle.
Getting it all.
Nothing.
I didn't see it though.
We are sure.
As you guys are describing this dragon, Kyleden's like the look on his face is slowly getting more like, oh shit.
Yeah, because if you guys struck it down, it's a lich, right? So it could just come back.
I mean, I don't think it was precisely alive to begin with.
Yeah, maybe
alive,
not.
Like, it can just regenerate itself.
It can do things I can do, except it does it to itself.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it to yourself if you try hard enough.
Don't want him to do it to himself.
Please don't.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Come on, it'll be
Oh.
infinite respawns. We'll be killing each other.
Callie waves her hand to silence everyone else and looks at Kyleton because he just said fuck. Grave voice.
It was a lich.
Yeah, we didn't tell you that.
His phylactery was like this big.
We don't know if it was his phylactery. All we know was that it was this gigantic crystalline. It was a crystalline thing
We
that
don't.
It was
I don't.
solid.
Trying to
Mordite.
move it.
Mordite.
This will
Yeah.
I was saying it was Mordite.
Yeah, it was solid Mordite.
Yeah, but
was-
we know
this-
that it was the phylactery because he was trying to move it into the astral plane.
Yeah,
It was the thing
Pill
I
was
used to
able-
piss Beth off.
Pill was able to do like an Arcana check and figured out.
Oh,
that it
yeah,
was
I forgot about
that. Yeah.
It was his attempt to make. He was in the process of making a
Yeah. Mhm.
phylactery. Yes.
Oh.
Whether
Can
it was
I let you more than
creating,
one?
whether it was creating. So. No, liches can't have more than one.
Okay.
He was doing something either to make a phylactery or to change his phylactery. Jesus Christ, phylactery. And you don't know what the hell he was doing. So whether it was a true lich or just an undead dragon, you don't know. But typically, Draco liches are not. Dragons don't become liches. Like, that's not an actual thing that happens. Dragons, when they become Draco liches, are resurrected dragons. They're not liches themselves. They don't have phylacteries. They just are undead dragons. You were talking about is a lich dragon.
Yep.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, nature
Well,
has
also,
bring back
well,
people.
also something else that we can't really discuss in public was there too, but that's a different set of conversations.
Oh yeah, that's right.
R was with him.
Stabby bit.
Yeah, the
I
one that
don't
was
want.
worse than the dragon.
By
I
the
don't want-
way, his relationship with Shar, he was not afraid of talking down to her.
Dude, she should say you can say that in public, and she slaps him in the head.
To be fair, they are absolutely drunk, so nobody's gonna believe that. Hopefully.
Vera's rubbing his temples.
Are you still wearing Kyle's hat, by the way, Vero?
Yeah.
It's that big feathered pirate-esque musketeer hat.
So Robbie, he needs to know all this if we're going to take down the Fire Lord.
I guess it's the acid.
You
in
fool!
this case.
I am the Fire Lord, and she needs a ring.
Yeah, Kyleton looks like he was coming out here to forget his problems, and you guys have just made his problems.
You
Yeah.
did ask us to tell you the truth. You
Yes, I did. I need to know this.
With some. We're really bad at
The only thing so Pill did recognize that the Mordite was his phylactery, or at least it seemed the thing that he was trying to do was either make a phylactery or move or make a new or change it.
Mhm.
But whatever it was that he was doing opened a portal to the astral plane.
Astral Sea.
Astral Sea, yes.
Astral plane, astral sea. It's
Yeah,
the same.
same thing.
It's all the astral thing.
Yes. It opened a portal to the astral plane, and I don't know nearly enough about liches or phylacteries or that kind of deal, but that doesn't seem right to me.
I know less. I've fought a lich once.
Her eyebrows kind of shoot up like, and you survived?
Because we didn't, man. We didn't.
Was awful. I can't tell you that story. I can't tell you that one.
You don't have to.
Why not?
She
Trauma.
slaps Pill like, don't shush. Don't make him relive his trauma.
But if this thing is trying to be a lich, if it didn't actually die, if it just, I have no idea how long it would take a dragon lich to regenerate. But
It was a long time.
What we're afraid of.
yeah,
100 years?
like 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah.
No,
It's a good thing we're here to fuck with him again.
Can't fuck
I
with him
don't-
right now, though.
Yeah, but we'll
I
find
don't
it.
think fucking with him is going to be what you need to do this time.
yeah.
I don't know what stopping him would bring about. I don't know if you just messed with his plans, what damage he could reap on the cities this time. There are more people here. We've grown so much in 100 years. He could lay waste to millions.
That's why we're not just going to stop him. We're not just going to stop him. We're going to destroy him. Rose is super determined about this. I don't know how,
Ideally-
but that's
Could
what we need to do.
he be in the
Ideally-
north?
That's the next place we need to look.
Well, it's one of the places. We also have to go south to figure out what's up with the plague rot because, yeah,
I mean, something's
might have a
eating the
connection.
land.
that might have a connection to him as well.
But before that, we go back to Rose's place.
That's less important. She kind of waves and
No.
looks away.
No. I need to know where you guys are going next. I can pick a mission to give to Arienti as her first one official.
Okay.
Velen, right?
Yeah, we're going to Velen. Vine Shade.
Vine Shade.
Vine Shade.
Yeah.
I forgot if it was Velen.
Uh,
Vine Shade.
You're heading south. Okay, I'll make sure that the mission I give to Arienti is on that route. It'll be more convenient for all of you if I know where you're going. So
Mhm.
I can give you tasks that are on your journey, and it won't force you to go out of your way for side missions if you are really, Christ, if you all are really destined to fight this thing again, I need to stay the hell out of your way.
Well, at the very least, what I think I speak for us all when I say this. You don't have to. So long as you try to open the way for us to do this, I think we would very much appreciate it.
Yeah, who says you didn't stay right here in this place because you have a fate with all of this too? You know that the big guys up there are like super creepy and mysterious with their dealing.
What I ideally believe is that we have Calvin attend his business
You know,
and
here's a
attend
question.
ours.
Could you send care packages?
Oh goodness. Okay,
Too
yeah, we have our own thing that we
hot.
need. We have our own thing that we need to do, but we wouldn't mind any aid you can provide. But you know,
The more tasks I give you from the talent, the more aid I can provide with them. It's you have to be shown to be doing things for the talent in order for me to give you aid, but you all have quite a hefty load you all are carrying. I will try to make the side missions that I give you at least align with those tasks.
have yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's just, it would be smart to have aid in this and not go in it with just us. Because last time we went into it with just us, didn't go so well. So
You're so
Okay, we are also baby adventurers.
I know,
You have to
but-
admit.
yes, but we could still learn from that, despite how little we were.
Let's
I-
be honest, bro.
What do you
We'd
ever
probably end up dying again, even if we faced him right now.
I can try to provide you as much aid as I can manage. It probably won't happen right away. I have a lot of ass kissing I have to do for a little while.
That's fine. I don't think we're gonna be ready to do all the big things right away anyway. We still have growth we have to do. So
We have. She gives a deep sigh. We have a lot of things that need to be taken care of amongst ourselves before we can think about anything world saving wise.
so we have
Just
time.
keep me posted.
Mhm.
All right. If this big bastard's still alive, I owe it a couple of really, really nasty days.
We'll be sure
I
to
can
give.
guarantee one thing: we have the worst fucking luck ever, and I can guarantee because of that he's still alive. And well, he's probably in the middle of his new plan.
Kai picks up his cup, taps it against yours, and then just downs the rest of his.
Just probably having tea with Shore right now.
I don't think we're really very good at cheering people up.
No, y'all are terrible at this. And then he pours himself more.
The one thing we are good at doing is lighting
At least
a fire.
you're honest.
For better or
Wait.
worse, we are very good at lighting a fire under people.
Wait, is Arianti drinking?
No, do not let her drink.
No,
She gets
I
Like-
would have made sure she
You
didn't.
put hair on your chest.
Every time, Arianti, if she is trying to, entirely up to her. If Arianti is attempting to get alcohol, Kai, with ninja-like accuracy, is removing the drink from her, drinking it, and putting the cup back down. Like, every time she tries to get a hold of one, he just drinks it.
Oh, I want to do something. Is there like something weird around that I can put in a cup?
Like she's trying to put, like, mustard or something, or salt in one of the cups.
Or like, yeah, just something weird to see if you'll drink it.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
You go, Chef.
Put the
Give
essence in his drink.
Because he keeps taking it, and I'm mad. Okay, sleight of hand check.
Mhm.
Oh, I only have a 3. Ah! I wonder, can I? I don't know.
You are not a rogue.
Okay. 20! Oh,
Not only do you manage to open the entire salt shaker and dump the entire contents of the salt shaker into this cup, you also manage to get off prestidigitation, and make it taste like rotting eggs. Like, just for added benefit. And you start to pick up the cup like you're gonna drink it. Kyle takes it, starts to lift it up to his lips, looks at the cup, looks at you, and is just like, I smelt it before I drank it. What did you put in this?
Then that's empty.
Could I have used prestidigitation so he couldn't smell it?
Sure. Alright, yeah, okay. We'll say that. Yeah, you try to make it smell as ordinary as possible. Dude drinks the cup. Just drinks the whole thing. It's full of salt and whatever else, and he drains the entire thing. Puts the cup down, and then looks at you, Arianti, and goes, I've had worse.
He's a fighter. He has
Oh,
constitution.
he
Like,
absolutely
why
is
would
gonna
he put
puke in like a
mercury in
minute.
it?
Like in a minute, you all are still talking, and you guys are kind of like just chit chatting. And Kyle stands up, walks just like perfectly straight line, like he's not shaking at all, walks over to a bucket that he saw and just vomits. Just pukes his guts out.
Rose goes over and casts lesser restoration.
Bro was about to do the same thing. Oh god.
Okay, while he's talking and both Rose and Vero go to try to heal him, Sarah's gonna extend her cup like fast to Arianti. Drink before he comes back, quickly kill!
No, the kid can't have alcohol. Damn it.
She takes the cup
Oh,
and
my
drinks it.
Fucking baby, I could do better. And he casts prestidigitation on his own drink to make it taste just like the one Kyleton just had.
Oh, you're gonna put the salt shaker full of salt in it too. That's right.
No, he's just using prestidigitation to make it taste the same.
You don't know what it tastes like though.
Okay. While you guys are having the no, the kid can't have alcohol conversation, I think that's a pretty good wrap up for the evening. You guys
So, real
tried to get the kid.
Real quick, I was waiting because we were still talking. I want to use my new fighter thing, and I want to know what level Kai is.
Oh.
I've been interacting with him for a long time. I should be able to know
Yeah.
his total class.
Yeah,
total
absolutely.
level.
Hold on, let me pull up his character sheet.
Okay.
I have to go find it.
And because I can do two of them, I guess he's a gunslinger, so I guess Dex score.
Dex score? Okay.
'Cause I think
Yeah,
that's
he's a
what you-
gunslinger.
Yeah, that's what gunslingers use. Is dexterity.
Where do I keep my character sheets for this game?
We're gonna do Kennel Keep and potions next session, or
Yes. Yeah, we'll do
Okay.
Candlekeep, and probably just because we're running out of time here.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I could've
Candlekeep
used
will be
this
the
on-
beginning of next.
Sorry.
The glove mission.
That
too?
mission.
Which one?
The glove mission.
Oh, right. Because you needed to go get the gloves.
I was gonna say, honestly, I could have used this on the whole entire council too. I just didn't think about
Yes,
it.
you
at
could
the time.
have. Sorry, it's loading his character sheet.
Okay.
Give me a drink. I'll be right back. I'm thirsty
Okay.
as fuck.
Could I roll League of Hands so Kali can't stop Sarah from giving
Well, she
Arianti
didn't
the...
stop you, or Karanti got it. She just said the kid
Then fuck
can't.
it,
and the
Arianti
kid
drank
grabbed
it,
it.
damn it!
She drank it. Yeah, she drank.
Kyle is 16th level.
Okay.
And his dex score is 22.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
You guys.
So like
God,
nothing's ever
knowing
gonna hit
her-
him basically.
Knowing her, she'd really look at his whole entire party, but I'm not gonna put you through that.
I can tell you. I mean, I could tell you if I wanted. Since we really haven't had them too much in the conversation
Yeah.
there or not, but yeah.
Honestly, she'd do it to probably everyone she fucking meets, so I'm being completely
Mhm.
honest, but...
It's like, look at my new shiny toy and I go like,
She's just curious.
Yeah. But yes, Kai has a 22 dex. Dude's a friggin' ninja. Yeah. You don't learn anything else, but yeah, his
yeah, there's only
his
two I can
class is his class, by the way, is sharpshooter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
He retrained, by the way. He's 100%. All 15 levels are sharpshooter. He has no other class. Or 16. Sorry, all 16 levels are sharpshooter. Yeah, I built his character sheet a while ago, and I just was scrolling through it, and I'm like, stuff he can do. He has several feats, which are pretty neat. But yeah, okay. Yes, I could tell you what the other council members' classes were if you wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be.
the snake was a familiar.
Because I think, what was it?
Yeah.
I gotta go look back at what all she can do. If she observes someone or talks to them for 1 minute, she can tell either strength, dex, or constitution score, armor class, hit points, total class levels, if any, and fighter class levels, if any.
Mhm.
That's it.
So total class levels. let's see. Ethan was a 18th level fighter. He's an Eldritch Knight.
Okay.
Hilly was a bard. Her total class levels was 17th level. Gamili was a 17th level druid.
Nadie va a acompañar esta canción.
Ward was a 15th level fighter. 15th level ranger. And Tanich was a 16th level monk.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
To be honest, guys, I was super tempted to start shit with war, but I feared that Sharabe already has no enemies.
Yeah. But Ward was the ranger. He dual wields.
Why are all rangers assholes? I want to know.
No, we did need a ranger who wasn't an asshole, just, 100 years ago.
When I wasn't.
Yeah, but that was
Isn't-
100 years ago. Maybe now is the rule that all rangers are assholes.
It's a new staple for this century. Alright, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you guys drink sort of the rest of the night. Arianti, you do manage to get a glass of wine in there somewhere. It's okay. It has like a funky taste to it, but like you're not 100% sure why they're all telling you can't drink this.
I bet this is while Callan was puking and Rose and Vera both were trying to heal him.
Yes.
Rose wouldn't let Arianti drink a bunch, but she's a bit more ambivalent about drinking because she's from a winery and they had to learn how to tell the difference between different wines eventually. So mostly she doesn't want Arianti to be drinking in public where other people can see us in the middle of this negotiation of apprenticeship thing.
Yeah, you all the responsible adults. They're supposed to be taking care of her? Yep.
Hey, Arianti, you want to do a line of coke?
Vera wouldn't have let her if he would have known.
Don't be a dumbass. That's a plant. See? And she tries to grow a coke plant on her.
So you guys successfully drink and achieve drunkenness as you so chose throughout the course of the evening. But yeah, so Arianti, you are officially Crimson Talon, and we will do Candlekeep and potions on the return. Actually, your potions, if you want to, we can just make those checks for your potions.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was about to make 5 common ones. That means we need to stay a little, if that's alright for you. Either 3 or 5.
We've been here 2 weeks, right? So.
Yeah.
Okay, it would be fine, I guess. Cool.
Yeah, go ahead and make trying to decide if I want to make you make all of the checks. Yeah, go ahead and make all 5 of the alchemy checks, which is your intelligence modifier plus proficiency, plus your proficiency bonus as your bonus to make those checks. So D20 plus your int bonus plus proficiency.
Plus my int bone. I think I have proficiency with alchemist supplies.
Yeah. So you get your intelligence modifier.
Yes.
Plus proficiency. Your proficiency bonus, then roll a d20.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's see me succeed, guys. Fail.
It's basically the same as your history check.
The first is the 23.
Okay, that potion succeeded.
Shit. The second is a crit fail.
That one did not. Something burned in that one, so you lost the supplies for one of the potions, and it failed.
I'm sorry, guys.
Why?
It happens. And the reason why you're having to make checks is because you're doing this while you had to do other things. So you're making checks because you're trying to see how well you set it up in advance.
The next one is a 15.
Okay.
Yes.
You have 2 successful potions.
Okay, 21.
3 successful potions.
Can I roll for another?
There's
Yeah,
one more.
yeah, you can do 5. Mm-hmm.
That's a 13.
13. Okay. That one also failed. It was not as catastrophically bad, but it turned blue.
Great.
It's not supposed to be blue. You don't know why it's blue, but you did make a potion. You just don't know what it does. So
Cool.
put blue potion.
I offer myself a tribute. Try.
I
So you have 3 successful common potions. Yeah. And
Okay.
1 blue potion.
And what did I did pay for it some kind of I just want to calculate now if I actually lost money.
Yeah, so for someone supervising the potions for the days you were gone, it would have came out to be about like 4 gold for all the supervising. Plus the components for the potion I think ended up being like they were like 35 each, right?
Yeah.
So for the 5 potions times 35 plus 4. All right, I have to get a calculator out because I am bad at math.
I am getting calculator out. 35
So
times.
it would have been 179 gold is how much you spent. For 3 common potions, that would have run you close to 300 gold.
Okay, I didn't kill money. That's
Yeah.
good.
Typically, you probably could have gotten those potions for 75 gold each with your discount. But like again, Baldur's Gate, 100 gold if you're not part of a guild. Since everybody's part of a guild, they run about 75 with your guild discount. Orienti probably could have picked them up for 50. So for 3 potions, it would have been 150 with Orienti's discount. You didn't know you were going to get that yet, but that's how it would have run now. But you also got an additional potion out of it. You just don't know what it does. It does something. I mean, it is a successful potion. It's just not the one you wanted.
Blue
How
potion?
Blue potion? Question mark.
Yeah.
Is there any way that you can like try to know what it does before drinking it?
Yeah, the identify spell.
Either that or in a level I'm gonna take the alchemist feat. And then I'm gonna know.
Yeah, and then you can identify potions by looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the identify spell or out the alchemist feat. But for right now, blue potion? Question mark. But yeah.
I have a mysterious blue potion and a mysterious red potion, and 3
Yes.
common ones.
Yes, you have 2. Yeah, you have 3. You have 3 normal health potions, a red potion you picked up along the way, and a blue potion that you made. You don't know what it does, but you got it.
Okay.
I mean, like the funny part is, you come back to this potion and you're looking at it, and you like look around the left your stuff, and you see this blue one on the rack, and you're like, that can't be mine. They're common healing potions. They should be red. And the person's like, no, that's the one you were making, and but it's blue. And the person's like, I don't know, it turned blue like an hour ago.
Oh dear. More fuckery with potions, as if adding soap to potions hasn't already been established.
Just know if you need any guinea pig, you got Sarabi on your side. Why the fuck no?
I'm gonna take a feat and I'm gonna get better at it, and we're gonna save so much money. Dang it!
You really are. Especially if you're spending time in the big cities. The big cities are probably going to charge more. The littler cities, you have less likelihood of finding stuff, but it'll be for cheaper because there are less adventurers in the little cities. The big cities have more adventurers, so they can raise their prices.
Yeah, higher demand.
Yep. So yeah. So you guys successfully achieved the guilddom. The next step would be doing Candlekeep, and then Kyle is going to give you guys and the glove mission.
Mhm.
Did I assign the glove mission yet, or did you guys
No.
not?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm confused.
Arianti wants the thieves' gloves, but those aren't typically like stuff you can buy. So someone wants to trade. You need to do something for me, and then I'll give you gloves. So yeah. I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so tempted just to give you one of the bounties that you guys already had access to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
was
why
this one?
not? Oh, wait, you don't have to remake anything. Or not remake, sorry. Make anything else you already haven't made.
Yeah.
Because.
I think. Yeah, I think I may do that. Yeah, we'll say. Okay. The bounty poster here. I'll just show it to you guys again. This poster. You guys.
fine.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, you guys go and eventually, because you guys are looking selling them. Miss Thistleweed here is willing to throw in a pair of gloves if you do this mission for her.
Cool.
Yo,
Alright.
So
do that.
she's gonna cut out the 300. So she'll still give you 300 per head, minus 300 for one of the heads. Like however many you bring in, minus one.
Yeah.
And she'll trade that for the gloves.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the mission you guys are gonna have to go do. Is this one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, all things considered, that is probably the one that I am looking forward to the most, and not the one that was like what 900 gold.
Yeah. I mean, several. This is not gonna be an easy fight.
No.
No.
Good.
No, it's not.
Good. At least good for me.
Well, yeah,
because I
we'll
know
have
Tali's
Ariadne
itching
this
for an
time.
actual fight. She kind of hasn't had an actual fight in a while. Seeing as
Mm-hmm.
she was locked out of our last big fight.
We just fight a demon on a library.
That
What
wasn't
are you
much of
talking-
a fight. We killed that thing fast, okay?
We really did.
And she was
It's
in
more
the
like-
cage for most of it.
It's also the fact that Beth, the dice hate her when it comes to hitting me because she'll roll really bad to hit me, but
And then
we'll roll high
waffle
enough.
stomp the rest
Yeah,
of you.
but she'll roll high enough to hit me when she's not targeting me. So, I'm kind of like, even Callie's kind of like, okay, something hit me. Like, I'm not this impenetrable. Like, come on.
Oh,
I haven't felt nervous for her in a while. That's why I'm like, come on.
Oh, we'll get there.
I know. But yeah. And
Really?
have
Don't
all
give
of
her
our-
ideas.
Okay, if I had the idea, she already had it way before I did. So, he's the GM. But say, we all have our magic items, right?
Yes,
We
yes.
got-
All of the magic items that you guys have purchased over the time period, including your medallions, earrings, bracelets, jewelry, rings, whatever. Whatever you guys decided as your communication object, you guys have those now. You have all of the other magic items that you've requested and or purchased over the time period. So all of the modifications are done. You guys will have all of your appropriate gear when you head to fight off this thing before you get the gloves.
Okay.
After we do this fight, we'll then do Candlekeep, and then you guys are going to be off on your future misadventures. Yeah.
That said, I used to have a clock of I had a clock of protection, and I changed it for the clock of displacement. Does anybody need a clock of protection?
I need to add all this to my character sheet.
I believe it requires attunement, correct?
It does.
Just so you guys know, you will have to attune to it.
it's also like more effective for somebody without armor, right?
I
It works for
don't.
anyone. It doesn't matter.
It works for anybody. Yeah.
It adds a plus
Anybody?
1 or plus 2. I can't remember.
Yeah. So it's a +1 to armor class, plus it gives you a +1 to your all of your saving throws.
Hmm.
I mean, I already got one. I could get rid of the Cloak of Elvenkind. We never use it. But I'm not sure if I...
It's up to you, honestly.
Yeah.
Do the communication things that we got, do they require attunement or no?
No attunement required.
Okay.
They are essentially a beefy version of the spell message, not sending. So yeah.
We gotta decide on our Jenga at some point.
Yep. And if you guys do want to send secret messages to Kai, you do need to decide what you want your code word to be.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what did I have? Arrow catching shield. Sorry, I'm putting it all on my character sheet so I don't forget that I have this shit.
Yeah, I know. You guys have a lot of magic items.
I couldn't afford my magic item other than the ear cuff, so I'm glad for the ones that I have. Oh wait, yeah, I spent all my money on spell components. That's it.
Yep.
I mean, I can try to sell the Cloak of Protection, but I probably get more money for that elsewhere.
Honestly, one of us will probably use it. I could take it if I needed to. I have two. I only have one attunement. I've only used one attunement slot, and having a 17 to armor class isn't gonna hurt.
So you have a 16 to armor class. What is Sarabi's armor class?
I think it's 16 too.
As well?
Yes,
Okay, so you're
16.
both the same.
I mean, if anybody needs a cloak of protection, like a bit, like I do get hit, but not nearly as often, and I also don't really run into danger. It's danger that finds me. So,
I mean, Sarabi doesn't necessarily run in either unless she's trying to be overly heroic, which is fine.
yeah.
Yep.
But
It's
I-
better for somebody who either has a really low AC or is in the front of receiving hits a lot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the-
Phil, what's
But I
your-
already have a cloak, so I don't know how I'm gonna wear 2 cloaks.
You can't. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phil gave his cloak to Pietro because I think he's attuned to other things now.
Oh yeah, he's attuned to a lot of things.
Callie's now attuned to 3 different things, so. Plus, she already has
Is there
20
anybody who
on.
has attunement slots?
Hmm?
Is anybody who has attunement slots open?
I do.
I do.
I do, but I can't wear 2 cloaks.
Cloaks.
I
Yeah,
can't wear 2
you're in the
cloaks.
same
Yeah.
boat as
So it's either Rose or Sarabi. One or the other.
Well, Sarabi has all her attunement. Well, who will
Is
have
she
to
slowly
change.
attuned? Yeah.
Yeah, either that one of the Cloak of Elvenkind. Still never use, because we don't have really a rogue that goes.
Stealthy.
I mean, I could try to start using her that way, but I don't know. We haven't really tried that way of playing. And the last time we tried to send something ahead of us, it ended really bad. Besides the fact that it was a zombie. Still then bad.
It was fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about. It was a great plan.
It was great in that it distracted it for about 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it was not the place to try it on.
10 out of 10. Best idea.
She
I guess you can
just
just give it to Rose since she's the healer.
All right. Cool.
Yeah,
I have a
For my-
cloak.